What is a critical conversation? A critical conversation is a conversation that reveals important context, not only about ourselves, but about other people. Critical conversations edify, heal, and provide substance. Join Latanya Harris Gooden as she introduces us to critical conversations right here on Trailblazers Radio.
Hello, everybody. This is LHG. I am just coming to let you know that I am an independent paparazzi jewelry consultant. You didn't know that, did you? Well, now you know. So I would love to be your personal jewelry lady. Paparazzi is an amazing company. We sell nickel and lead free jewelry. We are known for our $5 bling, but you just need to know there is an exclusive Z collection that's $25. It's the bling of all bling when you're really going out on the town and you want to show up absolutely fabulous. So we have items for women, for men, and for young fashionistas out there. We don't discriminate. If you need it, I'm sure we got it. You have the opportunity to follow my page on Facebook called Polished on Purpose, a VIP group. Follow my personal page, Latanya Harris Gooden. And I have my own website that is at your disposal 24/7. So many ways to shop. So let me be the one that makes sure you are accessorized the way you should be. Because I want you to be polished on purpose. My mentor always tells me, when you show up, people are checking you out. They're watching you. So why not be polished? Be poised. Be purposeful. Glam it up with pop, honey. I got what you need. Okay, well, I guess I've been muted all this time. Well, good afternoon. You've been watching me run my mouth, and I wasn't saying nothing. Good thing I caught it, y'all, because that would have been a mess. So let me give you my welcome again. Welcome to Critical Conversations. I apologize for being muted. Normally it comes off mute after my commercial comes on, but here I am now. So welcome officially to the show. Tonight's topic is a hot one, a pain of unappreciation, part 2, how to resuscitate the human spirit. We're going to go from the relationship aspect today. And that's why I ain't got near your eyelash on, because I know it might get emotional. So bear with me. We're going to pray. We're going to jump in. Before I do that, if you did not catch Thursday night show, yes, Critical Conversations had a Thursday night special show because I wanted to make sure that we heard Coco's testimony. For those of you who do not know, Coco is one of our podcasters, and she is the nucleus of our group. She has been suffering from an autoimmune disease for several years, and there is treatment that could possibly help her. However, it is not covered by insurance, and we put together a GoFundMe, which I do have in the comments. And Thursday was our kickoff fundraiser. We're going to keep sharing the show and sharing the link. Um, the goal is 8,000. We need your help. If you're unable to share or to help monetarily, sharing the video, sharing the link is a way that you can support. And we just want to make sure that we get the word out. She is a very important part of this team. She is our sister, and we need your help. Yeah. She's always helped so many other people. And no need for eyelashes. Listen, God didn't make mistakes when He created the most. Oh, thank you for calling us beautiful. You know what? I'm glad you said that because I get so attached to my eyelashes. And when I don't have them on, I feel so naked. Just I'm telling you. And thank you for joining tonight. So if you haven't shared the show from Thursday, please do. It was our fundraiser kickoff for our Coco to get the medical treatment that she so desperately needs and deserves. We need your help. Also, as you saw in my commercial, I am a paparazzi jewelry consultant, and my link is in the comments as well. And by it being the month of love, you should be loving each other every day. But Valentine's Day is a day that we set aside to show extra love. So if you want to shop for your significant other, I have women's, men's, young ladies jewelry. Feel free to shop online or you can go to my page. It's called Polished on Purpose. You can join a page. I show videos and pictures or follow my personal page, Latanya Harris Gooden. I would love your support as I try to grow my business. So I'm real chill today. I never wear t-shirts. So I'm trying to do something different, y'all. Be a little more relaxed, be a little more comfortable. Plus, I had therapy today. That's the other reason why I don't have on no eyelashes. Therapy is emotional. And I'm not even ashamed to say I have a therapist and a psychiatrist and all kind of doctors. Because if you've been following my show since the beginning, I talked about covering the 7 areas of wellness: emotional wellness, spiritual, physical, social, environmental, financial, vocational. I want to talk about every area of wellness because it seems like we get one area good and then we putting out fires in these other areas, and the part you thought was good becomes not so good, and we end up all over the place emotionally. And this whole pandemic has put an extra haze of pressure and anxiety on everything. Life as we knew it will probably be no more. Everything is different. We're working at home. Even though the world has opened back up, some things will never go back to what they were. Many of us lost loved ones, relationships, jobs, homes. I mean, it literally swept the world and took us by surprise. But here we are. If you're watching me or listening to me, then you're alive. Praise God for life. Praise God for every breath. And if you've experienced COVID-19 and you're a survivor of that, praise God for you because some people didn't make it back from that. And to God be the glory. So let's pray and let's dive into our topic. Oh, Father, in the name of Jesus, I praise you, I magnify you, I glorify you. You are amazing. I never would have made it this far without you. So instead of complaining about what I don't have, I'll give you praise and honor for what I do have. I have my life. I have a reasonable amount of health, and I have a little bit of strength to just keep carrying on to see what the end is going to be. I thank you, God, for those of us who are going to be on this show tonight together. Let something be said that will bring help and hope to someone who may have a broken spirit because of not being valued or appreciated. Let something be said to encourage their hearts today. Be the lifter of every bowed down head, Lord. We thank you for Trailblazers Radio as a whole. I thank you for our CEO, for Quint, for Coco, myself. Bless us as a collective. Bless all of our viewers and listeners in the name of Jesus. Amen. So, also, another announcement before I forget, I'm all about mental health, right? If you are in the metro Detroit area, starting tomorrow, there will be a mental health forum at Liberating Truth Church, and I will put the flyer in the comments. In Detroit, Michigan, Pastor Maurice Edwards and his beautiful wife, Lady Tracy, are hosting, in collaboration with Critical Conversations, a three-part mental health forum that will give an encouraging word from Pastor Edwards, along with speakers that will speak on mental health, different aspects of maintaining your mental health. I'll be sharing my testimony tomorrow about my diagnosis. And we're just starting a whole movement. It's called The Elephant Speaks. Isn't that something? When we say the elephant in the room, it's what's hanging over us that we don't share vocally. And the elephant, as the elephant is one of the biggest animals out there, and it's finally able to say something. And really, we thought we were, by being silent, getting over stuff. The body keeps the score when you don't tell the story. So many of us have been suffering from mental illness, physical illness, because we don't share some things, because we don't get therapy. That's a whole different discussion. But starting tomorrow at Liberating Truth Church, and I will pop the address and the flyer in the comments. The speakers for tomorrow are Coach Felicia Donald Coleman. She is a trauma recovery coach. Elder Sandra Cobb, she's been on my show. The Forgiveness Coach will be in the house tomorrow. You don't want to miss. So if you are in the Detroit area, it's 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. As you can be in the house to get some great information. We've had way too many of us suffer in silence. When I say us, people in general, people of color, church people, all those different groups, different populations of people who have chosen to suffer in silence out of shame. And it's time for the church, since we've been calling ourselves the hospital, right? It's time for us to start to provide services to give help and hope to those who are in the pews coming to church. They may be looking like everything's going well, but for many, it's not. Many have suicidal thoughts. They are drinking heavily, drugging heavily, and other types of habits to try to feel numb. So I applaud Pastor Maurice Edwards and Lady Tracy for taking the steps to bring the church and the mental health community together, um, to provide resources. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Do not give the enemy any satisfaction by making you isolate, because too much isolation becomes a devil's playground to trick you into believing you shouldn't be here. So I really hope to see you there. And if you go tomorrow, if you're there, I'll be there. Be sure to introduce yourself to me so I can greet you and know who you are, and spread the word. Spread the word. It's going to be really good. All right. So I'm not going to be on long, but I want to do part two of the pain of feeling unappreciated. So last week, we went with the premise of feeling unappreciated on the job. And if you caught last week's episode, we talked about how sometimes we can give so much of ourselves on a job. I mean, you coming in early, you're staying late, you're eating through your lunch, you're not taking breaks, you're taking on all extra projects. And for many of us, that's normal. And for many companies, and unfortunately, many companies are now making these 80-hour weeks normalized. I don't know who started that, but why shouldn't a job be a 40-hour job? Why do we have to make it so when we get into these jobs that it becomes the culture that you have to work 10 and 12 and 14 hours and not have anything left for your spouse, yourself, your kids, your dreams, your aspirations? And growing up, that was what we saw. You go to work, you work hard. I mean, you work your fingers to the bone, you make your little paycheck, you retire, and then you hold on for the rapture. I mean, it's just got to be more to life than working and coming home and going to work and coming home. And nowadays, when COVID hit and so many companies offered buyouts and early retirements and things to cut costs, it put that much more work on the people who were still there. So while you thought you were already busy and overwhelmed, hundreds of people retire and they put that work on you. And the more you do to maintain, it's never enough. They move the target. Well, if you can do this, you can do that. And if you can that, you can do this. That culture it could be fatal. It could literally be, it can cost your life. Stress kills. The cemetery is full of professionals that allowed stress to cause them heart attacks and other illnesses and took them right out of here. People are leaving here at alarmingly young ages. Back in my day, senior citizens passed away. Oh, she gone. Yeah, she gone. How old was she? 210. Oh, bless her heart. But now, people in their 30s, 40s, 50s are checking up out of here. And you're like, what was going on? And some people just overwork. And for many of us, it's in our DNA. Whatever we put our mind and our hands to, we give so much, but you never recoup. You never recover. Kyle Shonda, I follow her and you should too, our self-love guru, she posted that today's self-lover is a day to recover. Your weekend is supposed to be the recovery time. But how many of you find yourself either working on a weekend or worrying about work on the weekend? And the 2 days go by so fast. Next thing you know, it's Sunday night and you in a whole anxiety-filled mindset. And I used to get so bad to where when Sunday night would come, y'all, I would purposefully try not to go to sleep to make my Sunday last longer because I was just not looking forward to Monday. I was just that stressed. That's not healthy. I talked to a girlfriend today who she made a lateral move. Matter of fact, she took a small step down to get a job where she can come up out of her current job. It was too stressful. People are willing now to sacrifice their pay, sacrifice these jobs. All money ain't good money. People are willing to make sacrifices in the area of salary to keep their peace. It's a shame that you have to make that kind of choice. It's a shame that you find yourself backed up in a wall against a wall to where you have to forfeit money you've earned or levels you've earned in a job to say, nope, I'd rather go back to this to keep my peace than stay in this job and lose the rest of my hair. It's a shame that the company's cultures, there's a culture out here that says you have to work yourself to death. It's almost another form of slavery. No disrespect, because I wasn't in the slavery times, but to me, it's another more subtle form of slavery. And to make it so bad, the expectations put on African American employees are not always the same as non-African Americans. And you can debate that if you want. And I'm not trying to make anyone who's not Black uncomfortable. I'm speaking my truth and what I've seen. You can have 4 peers, 2 white and 2 Black. And I've seen the African American ones, the boss is on them. Did you do this? Did you do that? And then the other 2, I'm not even dealing with them. I don't bother them. Why? Why are you on us and not on them? And they can do whatever they want. Hello. I just said your name. I tell you, you just got this sense of mental telepathy. I just talked about your post about today being a day of recovery. I just told them to follow you today. I'm telling you, every time I speak your name, you show up. I love it. I love it. But here's the deal. If you find yourself in a job, I'm going to get to the other part of this. If you find yourself in a job where you're feeling unappreciated, the first thing you're going to have to do is decide, why am I here? Am I doing this job to be seen? Am I doing this job to get accolades? Or am I in the job I'm in to do what I'm called to do in this assignment while it lasts? I had to learn you cannot depend on people's patting you on the back, at a girl, or compliments. That can come and go. But you have to make a conscious decision that what I put my name on, because my name is my brand, whatever LHG touches is going to turn to gold because of who I am and my own work ethic. If nobody says anything about LHG did a great job, and I know how that feels to work on a project team for hours a day and countless Zoom meetings, countless Teams meetings, and all these documents and tests and stuff, and never get a thank you. I know how that feels. It doesn't feel good at all. But at the end of the day, I had to say, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be on this team, to learn from this team. And now I get to add, some project stuff to my resume. So even though I didn't get the accolades I maybe have wanted, you have to validate yourself. You have to get to a point where if nobody notices, if nobody mentions you, if nobody calls your name over the pulpit because you served the best fried chicken and you made the best church basement pound cake. Oh, I love church basement pound cake. Hold on, let me get a drink. I love me some church basement pound cake. But we get into this point where we feel like we have to have validation from someone. That's not going to always happen, especially on a job being led by people who don't connect with people like that. Now, me, I think I over appreciated my staff because I know that people who feel valued and appreciated work more, they produce more. I get that. But not every leader gets that. And because you can't control your boss and their thoughts or their trauma, you have to make a decision that if I'm going to go to this job and work 9 to 5, 8 to 12, whatever you work, I'm going to validate myself and know my own worth, put my all into this because this could lead me to the next level. What's in it for you? Learn and grow and get up out of there. And nowadays, I'm just going to be honest, the generations have changed and younger people, they not staying in these jobs for 30 and 40 years to be treated any kind of way. Dear employers, you better treat folks right because the younger generation, if they don't feel valued and appreciated, I don't care. They've been working there 13 minutes. They like, I'm out, next job. It's a whole new vibe now. Now, back in my day, you go to a job, you stick and stay no matter what. They didn't beat you down, then backbiting and all that, and you stay. Nope, not the younger people. They know their worth. They are not sitting in these companies 5, 10, 15 years without being appreciated, without getting their money that they deserve. They're not doing that. They're not, and I don't blame them. Why should you sit around somewhere where you're not being developed, you're not growing, you're not being appreciated? Why would you stay? Why would you stay? So, yeah, I can understand why they book up, honey. If they ain't feeling it that day, they ain't worry. I'll find another job. Now, my generation, we crying, we worry. How I'm gonna start over? What is we gonna do? What is we gonna do? We gonna be all right. We gonna be all right. Listen, just like you got that job and you grew and you got what you needed, you can do it somewhere else. You know what? Shonda, it is true for church. People are not staying in these churches for 40 years and ain't nothing going on because, well, this was grandmama church and great grandmama church, and our family has been in this church since the 1800s. No, church folk is saying, look, if I'm not getting what I need, I'm not getting anything out of this. I'm not growing spiritually. My family is not growing. It's like, poop. I'm telling you, you're not stuck there. Why? Family name? I mean, and to be honest, it ain't no time to be sticking places where you ain't getting what you need. Why? That is pointless. Pointless. I ain't saying you got to be like knocked down, drag out. I ain't talking to you. But if that place of worship or that job just isn't fitting you anymore because you're pivoting and changing and growing, you don't have to feel guilty about making the right move for yourself. Job, church, relationship. I'm not 20 no more. I'm almost 50. So where I spend my time, where I worship, where I work, the friends I have, that can even be the same for friendships and connections. Who I give my energy to, who I spend time with as far as sisterhood, if that circle is not rooted and grounded in Christ and building each other up and really having a vibe of yeah, sis, I got you. If I'm not getting that, I'm not hanging around. That's right. No guilt. No guilt. Pivot as you need to. And that's the biggest thing. Be led by God. Huge. I think a lot of us are staying in places and God is giving us the nudge to like, okay, you ready to go to the next level? Okay, you ready? Okay, you ready? And we praying, Lord, please, I want a new level, God. New dimensions, Lord. But you ain't moving when he say move. He either gonna say move or he gonna say stay. But either way, you gotta hear him. And if you got so much other stuff and so much other opinions and people in your head, and it's clouding your communication channel with him, you gotta clear the hallway. The hallway get too crowded. When the hallways get too crowded, the hallway monitor blow that whistle, get to class. And if you got too many thoughts in your mind and it's crowded, and you can't hear from God, you need a mental hall monitor. Because you need to hear, I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to attach myself to nothing and nobody that is not my assignment. I just talked to my therapist today. She said, Miss Harris, she still called me Miss Harris. You have got to stop overwhelming yourself with busy work. You pick up everything. If it ain't for you, leave it alone. Make yourself a calendar and a daily structure and put down the top 3 things you got to do and leave everything else alone until you get it done. She knows me. You go to a therapist long, they get to know you. Because she knows I will attach myself to something and grab a hold of something so fast. I don't know, why did you agree to do that and you ain't even got time for this? Why did you just do that? It's just a part of what I'm used to. But I don't want to overwhelm myself, which is the recipe for anxiety, which will lead to depression, and then nothing to get done. It's like having 200 books. Everybody that I know that wrote a book, I bought it. And I can only read one book at a time. So you got to say, well, who book I'm going to read today and finish it. That multitasking stuff is from the basement of hell for me. I'm too old to multitask. One thing at a time. So my therapist said, take your day, break it up in parts, write down the top 3 things you have to do, work each thing one by one, and stop overwhelming yourself with trying to do so much. Because sometimes the reason why you feel unappreciated is because you wasn't supposed to do it in the first place. Ooh. Could it be that you inserted yourself into it? It wasn't really you being led by God. You was led by your qualifications. I could do that. I'll take on that. You got in there doing it, busting your butt doing it, didn't get no appreciation, and could be because it wasn't even yours to do. Wow. So yes, Shonda, being led by God is absolutely detrimental. You have to. Because if you allow your own human mind or your flesh to lead you, and you can have the greatest of intentions. Oh, let's be clear. You can be so syrupy sweet and want to help everybody. You just want to help the world. We are the world. We are the children. That's you. That's me actually. But you can't be the world, and you can't save every child. So being led by God and asking him, Lord, since I have this pain of unappreciation in my spirit, can you tell me what assignments I should have never took on and what I need to detach myself from so I can be free to do the things that you have called me to do? Every project is not for you, LHG. Every email that goes out to the team, LHG, is not for you to say, I got it. I got it. Sometimes we are our own kryptonite and we self sabotage. And that causes us to be overwhelmed, overworked, and feel underappreciated because a lot of that stuff just wasn't even ours. And if it is your assignment and you're doing it as unto the Lord, maybe you shouldn't need anybody else's validation. Maybe it's my trauma showing up saying, in my childhood, all I wanted to do was please my mom. I wanted her to say, good job, Tanya. I'm so proud of you, Tanya. And when I didn't hear that, I felt betrayed. So what if that trauma is a time traveler? Trauma can travel decades, frontwards and backwards. So what if my trauma showed up on that job and said, your boss didn't say thank you, just like mama. So maybe my trauma is showing up. That's making me feel the necessity of someone's validation. If you are looking for a person, a human being, flesh, to validate you in all you do, you're going to always be disappointed. You can't go by that. People can be flim flammy and shimmy shammy and don't pay you no never mind. But if you know that God gave you a mandate to get out here and make a difference and to do some stuff, do it as unto the Lord. And if the next voice you hear is for reward is God saying, well done, and that's it, then it'll be worth it all. So talking it out is like, well, shoot. Yeah, I feel unappreciated. But am I sowing my time and energy into good ground? Or am I trying to make this person recognize me and they're not for me? Let me tell you, I'm gonna take y'all back to my pre Mrs. Gooden days when I was dating. And I will be very honest, I didn't date the way I should have dated. I was so obsessed with marriage, so obsessed with somebody claiming me that I didn't have fun dating like I would have wanted to. If I can go back now, I would do dating so differently. But back in the day, when I was dating on the dating apps, what is it? Plenty of Fish and Christian Mingle. Let me tell you, that Christian Mingle got the nastiest heathens. Yeah, they mingling all right. They mingling up under them sheets. I digress. But all those different dating sites, and I'm not knocking online dating, but you meet people and you could have clear intentions. I'm dating with a purpose. I'm saved, sanctified, whatever. I don't want to have, premarital sex and all this stuff. You lay out all these different things. And the person can say, well, I like you, Tanya, but I ain't trying to get all serious. And when somebody tell you they ain't trying to get all serious, please believe them. Don't be like me and say, well, when you start falling in love with LH, you gonna want to run me down the aisle in a wagon. No. So yeah, I felt unappreciated a lot in relationships because I had no business being in those relationships. Let me just be honest. They wasn't trying to commit, and many times they told me that, and I heard it and didn't hear it. Because I said, well, you don't want to commit because somebody must have hurt you, honey. The last lady, she just hurt you. But here, Big Mama is here to love on you. And you gonna want to get married. No. No. Giving these dudes husband benefits and husband care and concern and husband home cooked meals. And they ain't thinking about you. OMG. I want to use 3 other letters, but I'll just say OMG. So sometimes when you dating, the communication has got to be clear. What are we doing? And I would go into it so serious. I mean, if a dude take you out for a movie and Buffalo Wild Wings, that don't mean you're getting married in 24 hours. Unless you were me. Unless you were me. So when you feel unappreciated, the question becomes, did I insert myself in something I shouldn't have? Am I expecting too much? Because if they ain't feeling me like that, maybe I should have been exited stage left. Hey, brother, you coming up? Well, I'll let you decide. CEOs in the studio. So the pain of unappreciation in relationships, you got to think about it. If that's not your spouse, you really got to break down, what's my role in this person's life? Could we just be in the friend zone for a reason? Or am I seeing wedding bells and all they seeing is Netflix and chill? You really I'm telling you, I really hope you all that are dating out there, I really hope that you're taking the dating time to have fun. I was so obsessed with the thoughts of marriage, and I'm telling you, I'm sure I scared some dudes away. But, and people can debate this, when you're dating, you're still single. You're not married. So it ain't wrong to go on a date with one person on Monday and another one on Friday if you ain't exclusive. You're dating, you're looking to see what candidate is fitting for you. But when you do like I did, one date, one little date, and here I am practicing my name with their last name. Lord, do it. I'm gonna put some oil on them, Lord. This got to be the one. Man, because let me tell you why. Growing up and when my mother was single, she really was going hard to get married. So as a kid, if you see your parent pushing for marriage, in your mind, you figure, I guess that's the way it's supposed to go. You go on one date on Monday, and by Friday night, you married. Nah, bruh. Nah, sis. Nah. So if you're feeling unappreciated in a dating situation, it may be as simple as, let's have a conversation. What are we doing? Are we just kicking it? Because I know women. We get our heart involved and we claiming a dude and he doing whatever. You know, we falling in love. We all emotional. And now you feeling all sad. You know, but what is it though? Are you seeing too much into it and you should just kind of relax and have a date and have no expectations? Them doggone expectations will get your butt in trouble. Okay, we got a comment. Do we want to have those difficult conversations? I don't think we do. I mean, at least back in the day, most people did not. Most people did not. What you thinking, brother? You saying no? Welcome everybody, my CEO Frederick Beatty to the show.
We don't want to have those conversations.
Why?
Not because they're not because they're difficult. It's because we don't want to address what's present.
Mm. Okay.
So, and I'm just jumping on. So I was trying to read the room and read the convo. But I
Mhm.
mean, we're talking about like unappreciation and things of that nature. I mean,
Yes.
it is it is imperative that we have those difficult conversations. But for some of us, we won't have those conversations because number one, they're too quote unquote difficult,
Mhm.
or they're too quote unquote complicated,
Mhm.
or we just don't want to have them, and we want to ignore things, or
Yes.
we want to ignore what we see. We want to ignore what we see with our physical eyes, but
Mm.
also what we feel in our heart, and what our intuition is telling us. You know,
Mhm.
our physical eyes are, believe it or not, people. And I ain't trying to take over your conversation there like that, but I
Go
will say
ahead.
this, and I said this. I said this in a poem of mine. Believe it or not, people are we. In case you didn't know, our physical eyes are but one gateway.
Okay.
They're not the only gateway we use, or we should use.
Okay.
We got eyes, we got ears, we got hands, we got feel, we can feel, we can touch, feel. We can also see, we when you see things, I put like this. See, you would there's a difference between looking and seeing.
Mm. Do tell.
Seeing is when you actually is the physical aspect of it.
Okay.
When you actually, so I can see you, or I can see you on the screen. I can
Mhm.
see everything around me. But when you look, now this is just to me, y'all. When you look, that is more inward.
Mm.
Now is the more now you that when you're looking more to the inward of the inside of someone, or
Okay.
the inside of a concept or a situation. You look beyond just what is physically in front of you. What is physical, what is internal.
Okay. Okay.
But like I said, but when we talk about unappreciation, you know, I the perspective that I see, the lens that I view that from
Mhm.
goes for both of those ways. But it also goes to our emotional too, because we can feel unappreciated because someone doesn't do something for us, or we
Yeah.
can feel unappreciated because someone, or we want them to, this is something that like we have an expectation for people to do things for us, and
Yeah.
when they don't do it, we get disappointed. Like, say for
Yes.
instance, like, you know, and I'll use you and your husband as an example, right? So,
Mhm.
and this is hypothetical, I'm not, so this is not representative of what you and your husband do.
Mhm.
So say you and your husband, so say your husband does a specific thing for you,
Mhm.
and he's been doing it for you in y'all marriage for forever.
Mhm.
All of a sudden that stops.
Mhm.
Oh, you may ask like, what the hell's going on? Why are you stopping that? Why are you not doing that?
Mhm.
And it's something that made you feel made you feel a specific way. It gave you a specific feeling, like
Mhm.
maybe a feeling of secure, of, you know, being secure,
Right.
or extra love, or something like that. And when we take away certain things from people, or if we say things that are denigrating and derogatory,
Mhm.
we make people feel unappreciated.
Right.
And that is, to me, that is like one of those things that, to me, is the worst feeling in the world, to feel unappreciated.
It is hurtful.
To feel like you have no value. You have no value, or you bring no value to a person, or you
Mhm.
bring no value to yourself. It's
Mhm.
one thing to feel unappreciated by people, but it's another thing for you to self-depreciate yourself.
Wow. That's big.
And one of those, believe it or not, has a much more, well, what's the word I'm looking for? One of those has a much more deeper meaning, and it has a deeper consequence.
Okay.
I'll say that.
Okay.
So as I think, and like I said, I didn't want to take over your conversation or anything, but I think that's something. But I think that's something I want to kind of I want to personally throw out there because that's how I feel.
Yes.
That is how I feel. Cause I want us to I want us to engage in
Yes,
that from that aspect, but also from whatever aspects you have going.
absolutely. I feel like you hit a few nails on the head, brother, because if you are, say you're accustomed to doing things a certain way in one relationship and then you change people, if that other person doesn't know your love language, doesn't know your expectations, doesn't know that certain things give you a good feeling and certain things give you a bad feeling. I think we miss a lot of opportunities when you're dating and even in marriage to just have conversations that will help you get to learn a person. I've been married almost 5 years. I'm in the discovery phase still because my husband, and I'll give you an example. My family was over and my husband said these words. Lord have mercy. Let me get a drink first, because this is woo. He said these words. My wife never keeps gas in her car. I always fill up her tank. Now, it may not sound serious, but
Right.
the part of me that rose up was like, I ain't no dang on damsel in distress. I know how to put gas in my car. So
How you
I
exactly.
I flipped out. I was a single mama. I did everything. I didn't always have you. Why you think I gotta have you to put gas in my car? I took it totally wrong. When what
The audacity. How dare you?
right, like how you got me looking like I'm some little chicken head that don't know how to come on. But what he was saying was he enjoys taking care of that for me.
Yep.
He
It's the same thing
man,
with man. Oh my god.
I took it totally. I mean, I was like flipping out, like, what are you talking about?
Like, bruh.
Ooh, yeah, like don't put me out there. But his love language, part of what he loves about being a husband is being a provider. How
Yep.
much gas you got? I'll be right back. And next thing I know, I'll hear one door close and the car start. He gone. He'll pull it back up. I got a full tank. So what I should have said was, "Thank you, babe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you."
It's a, and that's funny that you mentioned that because like even with me and Monica's relationship now, I I open the door. I open her door.
Hmm.
She tries to get out there. Don't you open that door.
Hmm.
Come around to the driver's side. Open her door. Open the door so she can get back in. And I and I do that for like even like she because she has female friends and I do that for them. Like open the door for them. Like
Hmm.
and I also say, look, you don't got to sit in the back. You can sit in the front. I'll sit in the back. That's not a problem.
Hmm.
You know, and and I think when folks see when I think and this goes for both women and men. And I think when
Okay.
we see things like that, we see acts of kindness like that, we're thrown off. We're thrown off.
Mhm.
Like, dude, why are you doing that?
Mhm.
Because I wanna.
Right.
You sure you're not under any obligation to? I know I'm not under a obligation to do it. I'm doing it because I want to,
Right. Right.
not because it's not because I'm mandated to or anything like that. Because I
Mhm.
want to. But it's to me, it's also the right thing to do.
Right. Right.
But when someone goes through when someone's been through that unappreciative stage,
Mhm.
or they've continually been at that point to where they been unappreciated by people, whether
Mhm.
it's family, friends, or even in the church, for that
Mhm.
matter. Where you get defensive,
Oh, absolutely you do.
you question intentions.
Yeah. Mhm.
What you got? What you got going on? What's your ulterior motive for doing this?
Mhm. Mhm.
No ulterior motive, just out the kindness of my heart.
Mhm.
Problem?
Right.
If it is, we can talk about it.
Right.
And then if that, and I think with that, I think and even with that, my thing is always let me tell you about who I am, as a man.
That's the part right there that we need to hear.
Let me tell you about
Yeah.
who I am as a man.
Yes.
This is what I do. This is how I've been taught.
Mhm.
This is how the men. This is how I. This is the example that I see. All the men in my family have done this.
Mhm.
So naturally, for me to transition to, it's natural for me to do this because I've seen all the men in my family do it. And it's not because I'm following tradition or nothing like that. Because it's what I saw my father do.
Mhm.
What I saw my uncles do. It's what my brother, what all of my brothers, we all practice that. You
Mhm.
know, and if for those who don't know, it's the word is chivalry.
Yes. Chivalry is not dead.
But when you come across people who don't see that,
Mm.
who don't know what acts of kindness look like,
Right.
who don't know what someone just doing something out of the kindness of their heart, or just doing something just because they felt led to do it, not
Mhm.
because it's out of obligation.
Right.
And when someone hasn't been exposed to those things,
Mhm.
or or if someone hasn't, or even if they have been exposed to those things, and they were they were misused or mishandled,
Yeah, that's good.
people get defensive about that.
Yes.
People get very, very defensive about uh, feeling unappreciated. I mean, I felt that in I think we could all say that we felt unappreciated in,
Mhm.
I think, in more than one instance or more than one stage of our lives.
Right. I agree with that.
And I think a lot of people don't readily admit that. I mean, I know that I can admit that
Mhm.
I felt unappreciated in more than one stage, in more than one instance or stage of my life, because that's just how we are. So it goes to us doing what we do naturally
Yes.
as people,
Mhm.
being being someone with a kind heart, being someone that's altruistic,
Yes.
or being somebody that does that goes out of their way to make sure other people feel good and feel
Yeah.
great or feel wonderful and feel protected. But at the same time, all that energy we're giving to other people, we also should be giving that same energy to ourselves, and we don't. And
Mhm.
for us who do that, we literally deplete ourselves.
Yes. That's what makes unappreciation so painful because you're depleting yourself. And the question becomes, okay, yes, I am an intrinsically kind-hearted person. I love to serve, I love to help people, but at what point do you draw a line when it turns from being helpful to being used?
Yeah, and I think a lot of us don't recognize that
Mhm.
because we're going off how we going off we go off how we are, and we don't read the signs, or we don't read the room.
Right.
You give everything you can to somebody, and they will still treat you like, excuse my French, they will still treat you like shit.
Right.
They'll still treat you like you're less than a human being. There, unfortunately, in this crazy world that we live in, there are people that are like that.
There are. And
But
that's so hurtful when you're trying so hard to make a relationship work or create a connection of some sort and keep something going when you're feeling that from that person. The question becomes, how long are you going to stay for that?
yep,
How long are you going to accept that? Because it's almost like the more you stay, the more you're saying it's okay,
right,
or you're perpetuating that. I mean, and that goes for being at a job, relationship, ministry, whatever. If you are teaching people, and I've done this, go to work early, stay late, do all this extra stuff, picking up all extra projects, you're showing people that you can do all of that. Okay, well, that's if
right,
that's what you want to do. Here go a little bit more. Here go a little bit more. She'll do it. But then when you start pulling back, it's like, what's wrong with you? You changed. No, I got a brain now. And I realized that all of this work, I wasn't getting no extra money. I wasn't getting no extra perks. I was going home depleted. My marriage was starting to be on the rocks. My child wondering where her mom at. So I
Yep.
decided to love myself and say, after 8 hours, peace. Where you
Yep.
going? Home. I
Yep.
started before you. So why
Yep.
should I be leaving after you?
Yep.
No,
Man,
no,
girl, for
no.
sure. And it also goes down to understanding what our own limitations are.
Mm-hmm. And
Physical
we do have them.
limitation,
We do have them.
physical limitations, emotional and
Yes,
mental limitations.
yes, yes,
You know,
yes, brother.
it's about drawing that, and a lot of people, if you guys are watching, you probably not gonna like what I'm about to say next, but
Uh-oh,
it's
uh-oh.
true. It's about drawing that hard line in the sand
Come on, boundaries.
and say no,
N-O.
not doing that. I ain't
Woo,
gonna I
small but
I love you,
powerful
but
word.
no.
No.
I love you, but no. I would like to, but no.
Yep.
It's a that sounds very good and very tantalizing, but no.
No.
Oh man, y'all really? I really want to do that, but I can't. And, you
Mm-mm.
know, and with no be the word no means no. It doesn't in any language, in
Right.
any scenario. If I tell you no, that means no.
Yep. And don't apologize and don't feel guilty.
Nope. Don't allow anybody to make you feel away because you said no.
Yep.
Because that's where unappreciation comes in too. When you say no to somebody and then they make you feel away
Yes.
about it.
Yes.
You tell somebody no, and then all of a sudden now they chastise you
Right.
or they criticize you for saying no. Well, you or they say some stuff like, well, especially when it comes to a job, if tell a boss no about some overtime
Mm-hmm.
or working late or doing some other stuff, and you say no, I'm already inundated with other stuff that you got me doing.
Right.
Now you get criticized, you get chastised
Yes.
because, well, that ain't what you said when we interviewed you. Well, that ain't that's all. That also wasn't when the the aspects of my job changed.
Exactly. Try
And
to
it
put
goes
that guilt trip on you.
yeah, it goes the same thing in a relation in interpersonal relationships. You can tell somebody, you can say no to somebody because especially when you feel like the burden of what you're taking in is more the what you're taking in is more than what you should be receiving.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell y'all, this goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Goes the same way for a man as it goes for a woman. What of the phrase I just mentioned isn't specific to man or woman.
Mm-hmm.
We have to realize where our boundaries are, and when we say no, that means no, or when we kind of put our hands up and be like and give that person a face like, yeah, that uh yeah,
But here's the thing though, in relationships, if you come out the gate doing certain things
yeah,
every day over and over, and that person has become accustomed to it, I'm wondering if that's a monster that we create.
it is because you got it now because it because you have now you got to do the same. Now you got to do what you've done to keep him or her.
Yep. You
And
start
it's,
it,
and it's
you stop it. It's like,
right.
well, dang.
And if it stops or it diminishes, then there's an issue. There's a problem. There's a question.
Yep.
What are you doing? Are you seeing somebody else or something else going
Right.
on? And it always comes to those questions.
Yes.
And sometimes it's not even as simple as it's not the aspect of someone seeing somebody else. It just happens that some people as we go through this life, we take
Mhm.
on things.
We do. We do.
And a lot of those some of those things take up our time. Now remember, there's only 24 hours in a day, y'all. We spend
Right.
16 of those hours. We spend 8 of those hours working. We normally spend 8 of those hours sleeping.
You should be. How about that part?
Operative word is should be, right?
Right.
So that's 16 hours out of the day that's already gone. What about the
Right.
remaining 8?
And much left.
Yeah, you only got 8 hours left to be
Hmm.
creative and do everything else. Then you have to divvy up that. Then you did that time is divvied up.
Yes.
If you're married, you have to give your husband or your wife time. You have kids, you
Right.
have to give them their time. Um,
Yes.
You also, if you own a business, you have to give your business that time. If you are a creative, you have to give your time to be creative. And then there's, but then, and also in the same instance of that, you also have to give time for yourself.
You have to. We
And
neglect ourselves, but it catches up with us.
and we neglect ourselves
Mhm.
for what we believe is quote unquote the common good,
Right.
the common
Absolutely.
good of everybody else. Because if everybody else is happy, we believe that we're happy.
Mm. Wow.
If everybody else is content, we
Mhm.
believe that that's what we believe where our contentment comes from.
Right.
And that's true, and it's not true.
Right.
And I say that there's a reason why I say that. Of course, we can get happiness from seeing other people be happy and seeing other people succeed.
Mhm.
That's cool.
Mhm.
Because I think as human beings, we all gain some form of happiness from seeing each other succeed. At least
We do.
that's the concept. That's the concept that I like to believe in.
Right. Me too.
But what about yourself?
Mm.
Are you content with why we're seeing yourself succeed? And
Mm.
trust me, the things that I'm saying right now are the same questions that I ask myself.
Wow.
Because I can't come up here and say these things without asking myself the same questions.
Mhm.
Because we have to ask ourselves these questions because believe it or not, and again, this may be something that people may not like, but believe it or not, it starts with us first.
Yes, it does. Absolutely.
And then that flower blooms, and then that flower blooms outward.
Yes.
Everybody else is either directly or indirectly affected.
Yes.
And when we talk about like being unappreciated, you know, that comes from so many places of that can come from a place of hurt, that can come from a place of
Mhm.
neglect,
Yes.
abuse,
Trauma.
trauma,
Yes.
uh, harm, whether it's physical, whether it's physical harm brought about by somebody else or
Yes.
somebody, or self harm.
Mhm.
It can come from years of being talked down to, um, talked
Yes.
about, things of that nature. But they also wonder, well, if they felt that way, then why they didn't do anything to change it?
Hmm.
Were there any avenues available for that person to do to change it? Were there any resources available to change it? Matter of fact, if you're asking the question, did you do anything to help
Mm.
to try to
Okay.
help try to help that person so they can better their outcomes?
Mm.
Like I said, I wrote this in a poem, but like if the question I asked it is a poem called Deletion. What could we have done to ensure this life's completion and prevent its permanent deletion?
Wow.
Deletion is not all when I say deletion, it's not always about suicide.
Mhm.
A physical death is a physical death is one thing.
Mhm.
An emotional and a spiritual death is different. It's something completely
Ooh-wee.
different.
Mhm.
So was and I think what I'm gonna say probably is gonna trigger some people, and that's fine. And you probably can and I think a lot of people that's listening and watching this can relate to this.
Okay.
A lot of when we get to the point to where we feel unappreciated,
Mhm.
that is an emotional death.
Wow.
That is an emotional death
Wow.
because don't nobody love me, don't nobody appreciate me, don't nobody care about me.
Mhm.
That's an emotional death. That person has already died emotionally. They've literally cut their feelings on their emotions off to other people or to
Yes.
anything.
Yes.
That person now just walking around.
Walking the green mile.
Yeah, because they don't feel anything.
Right.
And if they do feel it, then if they do feel something, they don't know what that is. The only thing that they feel is of the pain of being not cared for, not loved on,
And
and
not
things of that nature.
valued.
And appreciation is more than just. And I don't know if you have mentioned this or not, but appreciation is more than just kind words and compliments.
Yes. That's good.
It's also actions.
Action.
Showing somebody that you appreciate them by loving on them,
Absolutely.
embracing them.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
when all those things go away, when the compliments go away, and
Mhm.
the love and the embrace and the love being loved on and the embrace goes away,
Mhm.
that's an emotional death.
Yes.
And to me, a spiritual and an emotional death most are the two worst kinds of deaths a person can say.
Wow.
Most person can experience.
Yes.
Yeah, bro. You was about to say action, and that's what I'm on right now. That's what we're on. It's action behind that. You know, we have to, if you're gonna being unappreciated, like I said, stems from so many things.
It does.
And then we got people walking around here like that.
Mhm.
They're literally they walk like LSU said. I mean, they walk in the green mile.
Every day. Mhm.
They walk in the green mile. They don't know whether they're coming or going.
Yes.
They're emotional zombies. They're
Yes.
they're bereft of any type of feeling or emotion because it's been stripped away from them.
Right.
Just like in the movie Black Panther, when folks challenge him, his
Mhm.
King T'Challa's powers were taken away from him.
Mhm.
So he could deal with that physical challenge.
Mhm.
I think when we're stripped of emotion, we I don't know. That's almost like that's almost like driving down a dark highway with either no lights on or with very, very dim headlights.
Mm.
You can only see you can only see just a little bit what's in front of you.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it. You don't know whether you're gonna run into something or you're gonna run over a pothole. You may run into a pylon or whatever. You may end up on the shoulder. You don't know where you are. We don't know where you are because your vision is limited to what's there.
Mhm.
And then eventually, once that light dims out, then there's nothing.
But I think we like you said when you first came on, we avoid some of the conversations that we need to have. And if you are in a relationship, whether it's a working one, a romantic one, a child and a parent, and you're feeling unappreciated, there probably needs to be some conversation about what your expectations are. Um,
Yep.
'Cause some people, going back to the love languages, you may not always hear a person say, I love you, but yet there's actions that are showing that. Women, most of us like to hear those words. But then I've had people say those words to me and not mean it.
Yep.
So it's like, words have value, yes, but what people they should be demonstrated thing. Love should be demonstrative. I should be able to know, not just from saying these words, but the things that you do when I'm around you and how you defend me when I'm not around you. That should be something that shows this person cares for me. Now, in a friendship mode, if somebody come to me saying some bull crap about somebody I care about, I'm gonna check you right then and there. It ain't even got to go all the way to the person. I'm gonna check you. Now, if you got an issue with my friend, y'all can deal with that, but I'm not gonna be mad because you mad.
Exactly.
I'm not getting in that. You go
Yep.
talk to them. You go deal with it. It could be a misunderstanding. Don't come on the campaign trail trying to get my vote. That I wasn't in that. Go talk to them. Don't come over here trying to, I don't know what. Nope, I don't want to talk about that. I wasn't there. I'm not in it. So some stuff, because I care for my friend, I'm like, where'd you get that from? That don't even sound right. Go talk to them right now.
Yep.
I'm not even
Nor
about to call them and say, girl, guess who said this? Nope. I'm gonna squash it before it even get to their ear.
Yep. Nor will I
Squash it.
allow disrespect. Nor will I allow you to disrespect
I'm not gonna
in
do
my
it.
presence.
I'm not gonna do it. And don't come over here with that talk trying to get me to jump on that bandwagon. I wasn't involved. If you really care about them, You be calling them saying, how can we fix this? That's the difference.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. Love is a verb and it is an action word. But here's a thing, real bravado network. Here's the thing. We know it's an action word,
Mm-hmm.
but the thing of it is, we rarely put some of, I'm not saying everybody, but there are people out there who rarely put action to that, to the word.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad. It's a sad but true thing. It is an action word. And anytime you say that word, there should be action behind it. There should be some sort of action behind it. Any word, any verb is an action word. So there, anytime you say a verb, there should be an action with it that follows it.
Right.
Love, I think, but also the other thing, and I think you know this too, real bravado there. Love is a word that we tend to misuse and abuse a
Mm.
lot.
Yeah, that's good.
We we attribute love with, we sometimes some people equate physical and emotional abuse to love.
Wow.
Well, he treats me that way, so he treats me like that, so he loves me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When I think about that, I think about Blueface and Christian Rock's relationship. That's that's not love. That's toxic as hell.
Mm-hmm.
So we equate love with certain things, or certain things that we're quote unquote used to.
Right.
Well, I'm used to her talking. I'm used to her talking to me this way. This is how
Mm-hmm.
this is how she expresses her love for me. Or I'm used to him, treating me in a certain way. That's how I express love. Or I'm used to my mother. This is what my mother did. This is how she expressed her love to me. And it was
Mm-hmm.
it was hard. It was a hard thing. It was hard. This is how
Right.
my father expressed love to me, and this is what it was. This is what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we equate love with the wrong things.
We do. We do.
There's nothing wrong with tough love.
That's true. Nothing
There's
wrong.
nothing there's nothing wrong with tough love. Tough love is like, for me, is how my father treated me when I did something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He would now, I thought this was backwards as hell, but it made sense to me. He would tell me the reason as to why I'm doing something, the reason why he's gonna whoop my behind, but also tell me why I was wrong.
Right.
But then whoop my behind. Well, gee, why didn't you say whoop my behind first and then tell me what I did wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Backwards. But
Right.
also tough love is also being what my uncles would do to me all the time, which is hold me accountable to my actions.
That's good. Accountability. That's a part of
That
love.
to me, that's tough. To me, that was tough love. I mean, they would berate me or anything like that. They would just pull me to the side and sternly talk to me.
Right.
And
Right.
with my Uncle Forrest, he would always be in a very, I knew I what I knew what I always knew my Uncle Forrest was dressing me down, because it was always in a calm, cool, and collected demeanor.
Mm-hmm.
But he always put those stern words behind it. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, I know. Oh, he dressing me down. So that's what it is. He giving me tough love. Tough love is those things. Being held accountable for your actions.
And tough love says, I want to have a teachable moment because I want you to be productive when I'm not here.
Let me
I
yeah,
want
let
to
me
teach you
let
this.
me let me show you this.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
That's
lesson.
love. That's even biblical. The
Yep.
Lord says if He chastises those who we love. If I didn't care, I bet you go out here and run them up.
And look, that's
But I
that's
care
what it is.
about
That's what
you.
it is.
And even a good friend will say, this may be uncomfortable, but you going down a road that is uncomfortable and it leads to self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. When you see a good friend going down a road like that, I don't care about your attitude. I'm gonna pull your coattail and say, I love you enough to say, that ain't the way, honey.
Yep. But
That ain't
we
right.
don't we don't appreciate that.
We get attitudes first. We don't want to hear a true friend giving you the straight no chaser truth.
You ain't
We
my
want to
mama.
be agreed
You ain't
with.
my daddy.
That's it. See?
You can't tell. I'm grown. You can't tell me what to do,
See?
brother, sister. I'm only trying to. I'm only trying to point you in the direction to where you won't destroy yourself or destroy somebody else.
Right.
We are appreciative with that.
Right. Hey, Coco.
Hey, Coco. I don't.
Hey,
be- I don't. For me, I appreciate the people that hold me to account.
Me too.
I may be angry with them when they pull me to the rug.
Mm-hmm.
I may get mad. I may curse. I may kick, cry, and scream like a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
But I know this. They doing it for my own good.
Right.
And
Your
if they,
best interest. Your
yeah,
best interest is the focal point.
man, look,
Yeah.
bro, you doing something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Let me school you on that. So let me school you on that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And I may kick, cry, scream, catch a tantrum, and all that stuff. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's for my own good, for my own betterment.
Right.
But nope, we don't appreciate folks that look out.
Right.
We
I
make
mean,
we make we
really
make
look
them feel
out.
we make them feel unappreciated by berating them, by
Yes.
telling them that they wrong, or
Yes.
you don't know me like that. What the hell are you talking about? Really,
Yeah.
you why if you was my friend, you would take my side.
See?
Well, if I was your friend, if I was a friend that you initially valued me to be, you would appreciate the wisdom I'm trying to put on you.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I find it real backwards. We can be appreciative of people pull us to the rug, but then be unappreciative. We can be appreciative when we pull somebody to account, but we are unappreciative when someone pulls us to account. That's
Mm.
backwards. Somebody please make that
Make
make
it
sense.
make sense.
but you know why it's like that? The biggest issue is you want people to live up to a standard that you won't live up to yourself.
Wow.
And so you can't expect somebody to be something that you're not willing to be.
That's very
And
true.
so when the person never meets that standard, you looking around like, oh, I'm just disappointed. Well, you shouldn't be disappointed in them. You should be disappointed in you
Right.
because you gave them a standard that even you ain't willing to meet.
Ooh.
Man, and that is the problem.
Ooh-wee.
I won't say that's a problem, but that is part of it,
Mhm.
because we exact standards on each other. Well, I got this standard, you got to meet it. But why am I trying to push that on you and I ain't meeting it?
And that
Well,
could be trauma talking. That could be a trauma expectation.
yeah,
For
because a
real.
And
lot
for
of
me,
times that's what we do. We do that. We do that. That let's be real. If you look at it, and you can look back over past relationships. I'm not gonna say that you do it now, but if you look back over past relationships, old relationships, we did it because we wanted to expect something from somebody,
Yes.
and out of that expectation, you like, well, oh, if they do it and they give me what I'm expecting, I never have to live up to it.
Mm.
But you never say that out loud.
Right. Right.
In your head, you said it a few times.
Mm-hmm.
And if they give me what I'm looking for, I never have to actually find it in myself to do it.
Ooh.
and
And
then
so
we
that's
get
the thing. That's the thing. We look for stuff in other people, but we need to find it in for us first.
And ourselves.
You know what I
and then
mean? And that's
yeah,
and that's with friendships, business relationships, anything.
Anybody.
You can't expect somebody else to be something that you're not willing to be.
yep,
Wow.
and then we expect somebody to work for it, but then we get mad when we got to work for it.
Wow.
I
And
mean,
then it could be a confidence situation as well. In the job sense, if I know that I put my all into a project, I know what I'm worth. I know I did my due diligence, but then here comes this manager supervisor and they all on me about you didn't do this right. well, how is it not right? I've
Right.
had those conversations. You didn't went off on me that I'm wrong based on somebody else's in your ear. Well, can you come talk to me and
Yep.
say,
Yeah.
can we sit down together, Latanya? Because it came to my attention that XYZ was wrong. But you didn't ran with them and their story, berated me in the email, and I gotta come back to you and say, I just went in there and checked again, and I was right.
Hmm.
You didn't even have my back.
Right.
At
I work for
all.
you. I work for you. You ain't even have my back. You would, jeez.
But
Yeah.
look at how often that takes place. And it takes place because that person did not have the capacity to have your back.
That's right.
Exactly.
You
That's
see what
true.
I'm
Exactly.
saying? The issue with us is we expect people to do things on a level that we know they can't meet.
Wow. Wow.
You
Yep.
catch what I'm saying? In your head, you know that this person really can't meet what you just asked. But you
Wow.
Yep.
you like to be so hopeful. And here we go
Yes.
with
Yep.
that P word. Well, I'm gonna use the wonderful P word that everybody like to use, potential.
Potential. Yes.
And potential is just a problem overlooking the opportunity.
Wow.
It is.
That's what I'm saying.
Ooh.
And people don't look at it like that. But potential is a problem overlooking an opportunity.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
you don't look at it like that because a person can tell you got potential, but if you never put action behind the potential, it'll never be met.
Never.
Nope. Exactly. And for
Wow.
me now, for me, my I used to have expectations of people. I
Mm-hmm.
still do, but
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time now, I I meet people right where they are, and that's my only expectation that I have of myself. I meet people exactly where they are. I treat them with the same respect. I give them the same honor because those two things are automatic for me. Everything else is pretty much earned, but those two are automatic for me. So I
Right.
walk in. I don't. I'm trying my best not to, you know, pile expectations on people because
Mm-hmm.
why would I want to put things on people that I know and I'm and some of the expectations I want from people I can't fulfill those myself.
Okay.
So now I walk in. So now I try my best to walk into situations with no expectation with very little expectations.
That's hard.
But you know what? This is what I do now. When people come up to me, especially when they want to be friends or when people want to try to connect to me,
Mm-hmm.
they ask me what I expect from them. I give them one answer. I expect you to be exactly what you are.
Okay.
I expect you to be exactly what you are, whatever that may entail.
Yep. Be
But
whoever
I
you are.
expect
It
you to
will
be
show up in one way or
right,
another. It will show
right.
up.
And that's what I say. I just want you to be exactly what you are.
Wow, that's good.
One
Bro.
one way or another, who you really are is
It'll
what I'm
show.
gonna
Shows up.
see. Is
It'll
what
show.
I'm
That's
gonna see. Now, a lot of times, let's be real. Those of y'all that really know me, who you really are, I see from the beginning. But
Yes.
I allow you to show who you are,
Right.
yep.
and I don't say nothing. I
Okay.
just sit back and I watch and I wait.
Mm-hmm.
But
And I,
at the end of the day, with that being said, when I look at it like that and I view people like that, I don't have to worry about being disappointed.
I want to
yeah.
get to that place. That's where
Yeah.
I want to get, where I can guard my heart better.
But it's there's an element of time that comes with that, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And
It does.
even me, I'm not as guarded as I once was,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because when when I look at things from certain aspects, I tell myself, well, nah, you shouldn't be like that when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to that. You should be a little bit more open minded when it comes to that.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you should just kind of listen more instead of just being closed off to certain things. You know, that's kind of sort of the mindset. That's I won't even say kind of sort. That's the mindset that I have now,
Okay.
because sometimes when you are guarded, you do close yourself off to
A lot.
yeah a lot opportunities to learn,
Right.
opportunities to think different, to think a different way, opportunities to see things from a perspective you probably would have never looked at, view
Right.
things from angles you would have never thought you would have viewed them from. So it
That's
is it is important to keep yourself as open as you possibly can, but still be protective enough of your own, of your energy and of your heart and of your emotions, to where if an unauthorized intrusion comes, you can defend it.
And maybe it's just a matter of knowing a person's role in your life.
Oh yeah.
That
When you
part.
meet people, there's categories of friendships, acquaintances, relationships. There are people that are crossing your path for a reason and a season. And there
Yep.
are some that are going to be locked and loaded for the long haul, but just having the discernment to know which is which category they fall into, and then operating accordingly. That's really what I'm trying to get myself to a point. Everyone that called you sis is not your sister.
Right.
Everybody call you bro, ain't your brother.
Right. And it's knowing that who means it and who just says that to get in your space and to get what they need and then they out. Or who
Oh
says
yeah.
that because they love you as a person and they want to, be a part of your life. So a lot of it is just being open to knowing and identifying, and that can come from the Holy Spirit too. Lord, who is this person to me? How are they assigned to me, or are they not assigned to me at all?
Yep. But I think the more better, the better part of it to me is just knowing you,
Hmm.
That's true.
knowing knowing the type of people that you want to be around and
Right.
that you want to surround yourself with. You
Right.
know, the way I look at it now is like, I anybody can get on my bus.
Hmm.
I'm cool with that. But but I know but I know when you get to your stop, you're going to get off.
Okay.
And for me, I am
And
completely
see, I'm
cool
the
with
opposite. I'm the opposite.
I'm completely cool with that.
Coco, they ain't get on the bus at all.
No, I'm the opposite. Everybody can get on my bus.
Okay.
I mean,
Everybody,
don't
everybody, you can purchase a ticket, but baby, even your ticket might get revoked. It like for
but
real.
for me, but I know
I
for me that I know for me that it sounds like it's a little bit more of a inviting trouble and stuff like that. But to me, the way that things have been happening and been going on in my life, it really has really it's not, because when people see they stop, they'll ring that bell and they'll get off, and I'm cool with that.
Some
You
people
know,
do, but then you got some people that hatch on and don't know, and just to stay along for the ride, just to stay
that's
along for
okay.
the ride, they never get off. But
That's okay.
nosy.
When they what
but those type of individuals, they never get off, and they never add nothing to you either.
They
yeah,
vultures
that's
Yeah,
okay.
like you know
But
what I'm
when
saying. You just there to see what you can
to
get.
get a ride all around town.
Yeah, like you, but
okay, because
you never have anything to add. You don't bring nothing to the table.
yeah, and that's where you have that's where I have to evaluate whether you ride till you just ride till the wheels fall off, or you get off at a particular stop. And if you ride until the wheels, if and how I look at it, if I feel that you're riding till the wheels fall off, that for me that could be one of two things.
Okay.
One, you got an ulterior motive, and you got ill intentions for me. The second one is that you show me who you are. You
Hmm.
show yourself to be trustworthy. You show yourself to be loyal, respectful, honorable, things of that nature. So you show me that. So those are two things that it means to me. Either you got an ulterior motive, or I've seen
Hey,
the things I
VN.
want to see.
Hey, that's my sister.
Hello, Von. Is it Von
So
Treese?
Montrese
yep,
Nicole. But that's
Hello.
the pain of unappreciation comes from when you rocking with them, you giving to them energy, money, time, love, affection, prayer, and ain't nothing coming back towards you.
Right,
reciprocal,
Right.
right.
That
But
don't
see,
feel
reciprocal.
good.
right, and see that's the thing though. That's the thing, and we have talked about this before, LAZ.
Whew.
You can't. Everybody does not deserve your energy.
I'm
If
Nope.
learning
you
that.
if you open yourself up and give your energy to everybody, you'll never have none.
You
Everybody
you done
At
don't
found
all.
the
deserve.
problem.
Everybody don't deserve
Woo.
your energy. Everybody is not your assignment. Let's
Jesus.
be real. And
Yes, Nicole.
um, and you know, I can say that I can expect a lot from people
Mm-hmm.
because I give a lot, but I have to remember that they are not me.
They are not us. Oh my
They're not me. I have to remember that you're
God.
not me. You're not gonna do the same thing I do for other people. You're not gonna give of yourself in the way I would give of myself. And
Right.
so I have to remember that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of life is a learning lesson. That's
Oh
that's what it
goodness, yes.
is.
Ain't it?
It's a big learning lesson. And
Ooh.
the women of my church got together today. That's where I'm coming in from. So, and we had this same exact conversation about learning how to know your assignment and
Mm-hmm.
not giving so much of yourself to the point of where you feel like, oh, I done gave you all of me. I got
Mm-hmm.
nothing in return, and now you done gave so much that you literally have nothing else to give.
Right.
So you have to get yourself to the point of where you don't do that to yourself.
And
You
then I
don't
have to say, check
overextend
the
yourself.
motive. If you're doing something with the premise of just to get it right back the way you gave it, then the motive could be off.
Yeah, I never expect to get back what I've ever done for
Mhm.
somebody else because like I said again, they're not me. And
Right.
so, my thing is again, the most that I ask for people, show up,
Just show up.
show
Yep.
up. If I got something going on, show up. Just be a button to seat.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
it. That's all I need. Just be a button to seat. That's all I need you for. You know what
Yep.
I mean? Nothing else. If I'm getting up and I got a speaking engagement, I just want to see your face in the place.
That's
Yes.
it.
You know what I mean? That's it. Cause that's all it takes for me is if I can see you
Me
there,
too.
good.
Too. Me
Yep.
You
too.
know? And just like when we pop up here on each other's shows,
Mm-hmm.
it's a show up factor. It's the
Right.
fact that you stopped what you was doing just to show up for me. I don't
Yeah.
care how long you stayed, you showed up though.
Showed up.
That's it.
Showed up.
That's
That's
it.
true.
And that's all it really takes. At the end of the day, you guys, for some of y'all that might be first timers with her watching her shows, um, LAG is a person that shows up. She'll do it, and
Do my best.
she'll show up even when and me and her both do it. She'll show up even when she don't feel good to show up.
Yeah.
You know, and over time you learn that it ain't about feelings all the time.
True.
Sometimes it's just the fact that you know what the other person needed, and
Yes.
so you just showed up.
Yes.
Um, and she don't overextend herself, and I tell her not to all the time.
You do.
You know what I mean? And so
Yep.
that's the biggest thing is I tell her don't do too much.
You do
Don't
say that.
don't overdo it because I promise you, being burned out behind people is
Oof. Lord have mercy, Jesus.
being burned out behind the individual is something. And
It,
when you get burned out behind one, it'll cause you not to want to deal with none.
it will.
You see what I'm
Exactly.
It
saying?
will cause you to retreat. It
Right.
will.
It will cause you to retreat from a whole bunch of people, and you don't want to do that.
I don't.
You don't want to have one individual drain you and burn you out so much that you just don't want to deal with nobody.
Right. You right.
That's the worst feeling ever.
You
It
know what I
Being
is.
mean?
burned out.
And now she's up here
Yeah, you
talking about how people feel unappreciated. And when she did the show for me Thursday night, the biggest thing is you better learn how to appreciate people while you got time.
Yes. Please, people.
Time
Please.
is short. People are leaving here every every hour. Somebody is
quickly.
dying.
Every hour.
Quickly.
Literally, you catch what I'm saying? It's not every day anymore. Every hour,
You
every hour, somebody is
right.
leaving here.
Yes.
Y'all could be having a conversation with somebody now, and in 3 hours you get a phone call. They ain't here.
Exactly. Oh my Lord.
So you have to learn how to appreciate
Love
people
on
while
people
you
while
got
they here.
time.
Yes.
Because time ain't waiting for nobody.
It's not.
Time ain't waiting for nobody.
It's not.
And it's just like at the end of the day, I appreciate her so much because when she came up under Trailblazers and we bought her on, she came on and she took off trucking. She
I,
has not hesitated and she took off trucking. I mean,
mm,
we've been kicking this thing now. October will be 3 years for us, y'all. You know what I mean? It
Yep.
don't even seem it came and it has come so quickly.
wow.
So quickly because it don't even seem like we have been together 3 years. You know what
Wow.
I'm saying?
like a
It'll
flash.
be it'll be 3 years for Trailblazers as a whole, but her first year with us,
Yes.
Yep.
her first whole year with us. And the thing of it is, when I say she came in trucking, she came in trucking. I bet she can't even tell you how many episodes she's done already, but we
Can't
can.
tell you. I
But,
can't.
but we can.
Can't.
Now,
Yep.
as a total, Trailblazers has done over 600 episodes. But
Wow.
out of the 600 episodes, almost 40 to 50 of them belong to her. And she just came in.
Wow.
Yep.
That's how many she's already done. Because I bet that she don't keep count, but we
I
do.
haven't been. I haven't been. I'm honest. I haven't been.
Yeah.
I just be enjoying the ride and doing what I love. I do.
We count. We count
Yeah,
for
we
you.
count.
But
I
I
love
mean,
We count
and,
because it's our job to keep track. Yeah,
I
we count.
love it.
But I'm
Thank you,
and
proud
then
of
on
Carmen.
top of
her.
that, if
I'm
Thank
and
you.
on
proud of
top of
her
that,
because
it's
she
not a
came in.
number.
It lets me know, though. It lets me know what her work ethic is,
Mhm.
even though it's this. So
Wow.
if she does this here, I can imagine what she was like when she was inside a corporate setting.
Ooh wee.
Catch what I'm saying? And
Have
so
mercy,
you can kind
Lord.
of tell a person's
Yep.
work ethic from how you deal with them.
That's
You
true.
know, it's not just this is business. You know what I'm saying? We love what we do, but this is business. And
Right.
you can tell the work ethic because
Yep.
of what you put into what you do. She
Thank
makes sure that she bring y'all stuff that's raw,
Yeah,
is uncut,
it
and
is.
it's not filtered because people get up here on her shows and they show real raw feelings and attitudes and
Raw.
how they really feel about stuff. And
Raw.
she gives you the disclaimer up front that hey, this might trigger you.
Yeah,
And
it's
if
raw.
it triggers you, I didn't mean for it to happen that way, but I'm just telling you what we're about to talk about. And she
Yes,
gives you the option to still stay, to say if you want to stay and watch.
that's true.
But
Yep.
you got to understand this. Even a lot of people that get off because it triggers, they come back and still watch the replay anyway.
They do. They
And
do.
so
Yep.
you gotta understand that your life is the same way. You got a
Yeah,
lot of people who to your face won't watch you, but
right.
baby they watching your replay.
That's true.
And so while they watching your replay, that's word of mouth that they
Yes,
putting
it
out about
is.
you. No matter what they say, it's word of mouth they putting out about you. But what you gotta
Absolutely.
understand is that in this season, people gotta watch what they say.
Right.
Because those same damaging words that you try to speak against somebody else, they got a funny way
Ooh,
of doing this right here, right back to you, and coming
yes.
back worse than what they are. Because we in a season where you reaping what you sow.
Come on.
So
Wow.
you have to
And
be careful. You got to be careful what you sow. If you're
Yes.
not sowing love and giving somebody grace and mercy because God has given it to you, then
Yes.
what are you sowing?
What are you sewing?
What are you sowing? And so when she gets up here, she sows a part of her
I
that a
do.
lot of other people may not get the opportunity to see
Hmm.
because she opens herself up when she's here.
Yes, I
And
do.
so y'all have to understand, like this is a place where she get up and she opens up the avenue for you. But
Hmm.
this is also a place where she opened up avenues for herself.
I
But
do.
in that avenue, she also has to be careful what she takes on because that's warfare for her.
Ooh, yes.
yep.
It becomes
Yes.
it becomes warfare after a while.
It
And
do.
Yep.
because when you open up your gate to something, it's
Mhm.
now warfare.
Right.
And so you have to understand that you got to be careful and you got to ask yourself, yes, Bond Trees, you got to ask yourself, what are you sowing?
That's right.
Even
That.
into your friendships and relationships, what are you
Ooh,
showing?
Lord.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And everybody that knows me knows that I'm an encourager to my heart. And
Yes, you
all,
are.
all I give people is positivity, and that's all.
That's
That's all
right.
I want. I may not always get it back because people not me,
That's
but
right.
I give positivity because I don't look at anything in a negative light.
Right.
And so no matter what it may be, I don't have a negative bone about it. I
Sure do.
look at I look at what's in front of me and then I turn it into something positive all the time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey sis, thank you for joining her.
Thank you.
Um
Thank you, Caramel
yeah,
Karma.
And so
Welcome, welcome.
that's one of my sisters, LHG.
Hey.
And she is watching us all the way from California.
All
So
right now,
um,
California. Thank you for dropping by. Thank
and
you.
that's what we do. You know, you give out positivity and
Yes,
you make lasting relationships that way.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? And so I mean, think about it. Like me getting
Yes, she
I
is.
got asked
Great.
on to one show, one
Mhm.
show with Fred. And where am I at now? You know,
Wow. Is
it
that
went
how
from
it all
one.
started?
Yes,
Yep.
Wow.
I was being interviewed by him and Quinn,
Get out of here. Thank you for
and
Yep.
that's how
sharing.
it started. Yeah, that's
Thank
how it
you.
started.
Oh my,
So you
how long
know,
ago was that? The 3 years ago?
yeah,
While back.
yeah,
While back.
Oh my
and
God.
that was at that time we wasn't even doing live stream. It was all audio.
Get out.
Yeah, because people had to call into Blog Talk to talk to us.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, so at that time we
That's how
wasn't,
it all came to be, huh?
and that's how it all came to
Yep.
be.
Wow.
Yeah. Matter of fact, the live stream started because of me.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was her.
Yeah,
It was her idea.
Oh my
it was my idea for us to start doing live streaming. We've been doing it ever since. So,
Yep. Her idea.
God. That is
that like
amazing.
at the end of the day, you know, you it's so funny how things work out.
It's amazing.
I
You calling
wasn't even
me.
ready.
Remember when
Right,
y'all called me? I'm
right.
doing a pop-up. You got a minute? I'm like, what's going on?
Exactly.
I told Gabby something going on. Something going on. Wow.
And who knew that when I asked you, you said this is actually something that I already went to the Lord about.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so, you know, God has a funny way of bringing stuff together.
He does.
He has a very funny way of how he brings things together and how he gets people to do what they need to do and who he used to do it.
Yes.
You see what she talking about? My sister talking about she's trying to get me to move to California. I
Oh
told you,
wow.
I told you I'm not coming to California because it's too close to hell.
What?
I told you I'm not doing it. Yes. I'm
What
gonna
in
tell
the
you.
world?
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why I say that to her all the time. In,
Lord have
Cal-
mercy.
in California, they roads split open and cars be falling through the road.
The
That
earthquake?
make it make me feel like I'm going to hell. I can't do it.
Oh
So
Lord have mercy.
it's too close to hell. I don't want to be out walking on the street one day and it just crack open.
It's
Nope,
swallowed up, huh?
I'm not doing it. It's just I'm not
Ooh
doing it.
wee.
I will come and visit as much as I
Lord have
can, but
mercy.
moving is not my portion, not
It
there.
is too close to hell, y'all. I'm like,
We know.
what? Wow.
Nah.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. She said she
Ooh.
was born and raised in California. But look,
Really, she is?
I'm
Wow.
sorry, Gone Trees. I'm talking about your home, baby, but I can't. I
Girl
can't
said
do it.
too close to hell. I thought
I
she
can't
meant
do
just
it,
the
baby.
temperature. She said she don't want. I have seen quite a few movies
Yes.
where they riding around and it just go whoomp, and
And
people go.
it,
"Whoomp." I'm like,
you see what I'm saying?
okay, so I do
No.
understand. I do understand.
Yes, no. I don't want to be asleep and wake up and feel my whole house trembling like I heard the
Oh,
call, like I heard the trumpet sound and then nobody else here but me. I don't
oh,
want to
have
do that. Like,
mercy.
no.
But wakes up tasting dirt.
The girl. No.
Lord Jesus.
No. Uh-uh.
Like, oh,
No, ma'am.
oh,
Yes, look, see? She's talking about it's interested out here, but you want me
oh
to
my
move there.
God.
No, ma'am.
Oh my
Mm.
Lord.
Hey,
But I brought up this topic as every topic I talk about, I do it because of what I'm dealing with. And I feel like other people can relate. And what I'm trying to do myself, I had a good therapy session. That's why I don't have no eyelashes on. So if y'all didn't know that therapy takes me right on out. So I'm learning how to appreciate me where I don't need anybody else's validation. I'm so secure in who I am. I'm so secure in what God has told me to do. I'm so secure in doing what I do as unto the Lord that whether you say thank you, good job at a girl or not, I am okay. I'm all right. I'm good. Growing up, that's all I wanted to hear from my mom. Great job. You're doing good. You're on the right track. I didn't get that. So fast forward into my adult years, it's like I've needed to hear that from people. But unfortunately, if you hang on to that, you just be hanging on. You're gonna stay disappointed. You're gonna stay depressed. You're gonna stay feeling undervalued. But if you are comfortable in knowing you got a good work ethic, you're professional, you're doing what you're supposed to do, you do what you're gonna do. Okay, Lord, I did it, and you feel good, and God will reward you. He has a way of giving you favor. He has a way of showing up to remind you that was good. I'm pleased. And as
Yeah.
long as
Yep.
he's pleased, nobody else. Come on, Vine Trees.
Yes.
I'm
And
wearing my
he,
Do It For You shirt tomorrow. I'm gonna take some pictures. My nephew has a whole clothing line and shirt says Do It For You. And if you start to do things for you, for your fulfillment, you will start to feel good about yourself, build your own self-esteem. Then it don't matter what they say or not say. You good.
that's
The
it.
expectations start to go down because I know I put my foot in that spaghetti, whether y'all
Yep.
like it or not. I know it was good. You ain't gotta say nothing. It was
She
cheesy
said.
and everything.
She said she put her foot in the spaghetti.
Listen,
Golly.
I know I did. I know I make some good spaghetti. I know I make a good cube steak. Nah. But
Oh,
at
that's how
work,
you. That's how you do.
yes.
Yeah,
When I go to work,
she sound like my auntie.
I love cube steak. In the professional environment, a lot of times, y'all, if you put your trust in your leader and you are waiting on their accolades, but they had a traumatic background or they don't trust people enough to thank you, then you're spinning your wheels.
Yeah.
And got to the point where instead of wanting to do a job well, I wanted to please the person.
Yep.
That is backwards. I should be doing a
Ass
good job.
backwards.
Ain't it, brother? And I said it. I said I've gotten to the point where I'm so fixated on making you happy and not just doing the job. Because I don't want you to get upset and blow me up in the email. That's not healthy.
It's not.
That's called people pleasing. And that's a
Nope.
dangerous place to sit if you into trying to people are too fickle.
Mm-hmm.
One thing may be good for them one day, and the next day, yeah, you ain't gonna never please everybody. I don't care how wonderful you are, how beautiful you are, how eloquently spoken you are, how you articulate. Somebody gonna always have a problem.
Oh yeah, they are.
Always. So if you're doing it for you, and you're doing it as unto the Lord, as He's told you to do it, that's got to be enough. God sees, I'm straight, and whatever else you do get from man is just extra. So, how do you heal the human spirit after being unappreciated? You appreciate yourself. You love yourself.
First.
Encourage yourself. It's a
First.
song out there. Encourage yourself
First.
first. No apologies, no guilt, because people may or may not even notice. They could be not appreciate you because they're too busy to even see. They so strung out and stressed, they ain't even notice that you just saved the world. They ain't even see it. It's not always malicious. It could just be they don't even realize how much you hold them up until you stop holding them up and they start falling. Some
Mm-hmm.
people don't appreciate the well until the well is bone dry and they thirsty and coughing.
Yeah, but they'll still try to go to the well.
They'll try. They'll try. But right now, self-preservation, self-encouragement, self-awareness, it's not selfish. It's something that's necessary. Because if you're not building up your own self-esteem, that means you are attracting people who can abuse you. You
Yep.
are
Yep.
attracting people who can usurp all your energy with no reciprocity. You're attracting people who don't have good confidence and self-esteem, give out an aroma in the world, and people can smell it and come running like looking like Thriller on the Michael Jackson video. Mm. Thriller. They smell it. Oh, that's someone who I can use and abuse and walk over and get all I can and then leave them. And
So you
on
mean
the other side, a person who is confident in themselves gives off an aroma, and you attract the right people in your circle. What are
Yeah.
you attracting? That you keep feeling unappreciated. Who are you entertaining? Who's in your circle?
who are you pulling into your orbit?
See, that's good.
Who are you pulling into your orbit? Because the moment you pull somebody into your orbit, they're gonna revolve around you
See,
until they decide they want to stop revolving around you and they decide they want to come out of your orbit.
mm-hmm.
And I think the one thing I think we as human beings have to comfortable with be comfortable with people removing themselves from our orbit.
Yes.
We're yes we are social creatures by nature.
Mm-hmm.
That is the grand and great design that God made us as.
Mm-hmm.
So we are social creatures by nature, but we also have to be cognizant and aware that just as easily and quickly as we can bring people into our orbits,
Mm-hmm.
they can most definitely exit.
That's true.
And we have to be cool with people leaving.
Yes. It's okay.
Yeah.
That's good, brother.
I don't mean if somebody's somebody if I was cool with somebody for several years and all of a sudden he or she decided that they want to leave, that they want to just not be my friend anymore and stuff like that, then of course I'm gonna ask some questions
Right.
as to why. What did I ask what did I do?
Mm-hmm.
For our what could I have done to improve our friendship? And if they still want to dissolve the friendship, I'm okay with that.
Right.
Not bitter about it. You know, the thing of it is because I think the other thing we want to hold on to people and things
We do.
that don't necessarily need to be held on to.
Yes. We're familiar with it. It's
Yep.
familiar.
And
Mm-hmm.
I can admit I have an issue. I have a problem. I have a problem with that because
I do
there are
too.
things that I'm holding on to
Yeah.
that I know need to be gone out of my orbit, or that I know I need to jettison
Yes.
from my plane. We are
Mm-hmm.
look, we're human beings. We all if anybody says they don't carry baggage of any sort, they're lying.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
If you tell me that you ain't got no baggage, you are if your plane don't have no baggage in it,
Graduated, you
you're
don't got
lying because
nobody.
you're carrying something.
Wow.
I'm
Wow.
just that I mean, but that's dead serious, but it's also real. If somebody
It's
says it,
real.
I don't got no baggage, I don't have no baggage, you're lying because
You're
you got
lying.
because you're
Because you ain't
carrying
made it to the
yourself.
gate yet.
Yeah.
What you carry might be lighter than somebody else's, and
Right.
you ain't have to check your luggage in at the airport,
But you got something you carrying.
but you gotta carry your own bag.
But you know what, brother? You hit something there. Um, when I had a situation, I'm in a situation where I had a 20 plus year friendship with someone. Um, and we were very close, spent a lot of time together. Um, she came into my life during a pain point when I was
Uh,
dealing with some childhood stuff. And sometimes when people enter your life in pain points and then you have a good turnaround, they don't like you no more because that pain point isn't your commonality anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Trauma
Now
bonding.
it's a trauma bond.
Mm-hmm.
So we sit up here praying for each other. You want a husband? Let's pray. I want a husband. Let's pray. You got mama issues? Let's pray. I got mama issues. Let's pray. So we praying, we asking God for all these different things, and God healed, God set free, God delivered, God. And when God started doing those things for me, because I actually believe that He will, and He did. Now, yes, ever since she didn't got that husband, she acting funny. Well,
Man,
ever since she didn't got healed, she walk a little better. But we pray for that, boo boo.
Right.
but see that's the issue though.
That's crazy to
People
me.
You got people that would
man,
rather stay. You got people that would rather stay bound than to get set free.
exactly.
Jesus.
And
And when
in
you
the same
meet
instance,
people like what you said, when it's a trauma bond, any type of bond where you got familiarity of a familiarity with somebody else, it's not really a bond.
nope,
Wow.
nope.
That is a soul tie.
And see,
And
Wow.
you have now created a soul tie with another individual that's dealing with the same thing you're dealing with.
yep,
First
Wow.
of all, y'all two broken people trying to fix each other.
yep.
Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles trying to go grocery shopping.
That's it.
And it don't work.
It don't
And,
work.
and can't nobody see what's in the
Can't
section
see
you in.
nothing.
You
What's
see
in
Nope.
the
what I'm
basket?
saying?
I don't know. Just feel for it. Feel for the
Right.
chicken wings. Feel
Can't
for
neither
it.
now we both know that can't neither one of them see what's in the section they in. They
See,
don't even know what aisle they on.
Lord have
Exactly.
And
mercy.
so you just picking up something that's there and you say,
Yeah,
okay, I'm gonna try to make it work.
yeah,
And that's what we do in life. We just pick
yeah.
up stuff that's there because we trying to fill voids.
Ooh, Jesus.
And when you got voids that you are trying to fill, but you're not willing to wait and heal the proper way,
Yeah.
you just trying to take anything to say, okay, I just gotta fill in the gap.
Yeah.
And I think I did that because I was missing my bond with my mom, and because I was going through that really tough looking for love and acceptance.
Hmm.
Once that door opened and we attached ourselves, and I'm not saying we weren't meant to have any kind of relationship, but the premise of it was off.
Right.
And when the foundation is not built on something of substance, it's eventually gonna fall.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yes, we had a 20-year run, and I'm not saying that it won't ever be a relationship again, but I had to make it known to that person. Now you calling people and talking stuff about me being different because I'm married. I am different. I'm married.
Yeah. And
My
you are
time
married.
is being allocated to a husband, but I always kept somebody. So what's
Yeah.
the deal?
My
LH,
thing
you
is,
always kept her a little tenderoni.
yeah, my thing is my thing is let them talk. Let them talk.
Right.
But let them talk because what I find so interesting and what I find so disheartening about us as human beings is that we will we will cheerlead each other on,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll push each other to get to greater heights, to greater
Right.
aspirations and greater achievements. But but the minute one person actually breaks barriers, breaks bonds,
Yes.
breaks chains, it gets to those greater heights, it gets to those greater aspirations. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, they moving funny.
Wow.
I'm not moving
Yeah.
funny. You moving funny.
Right.
You
No, hold on, friend. How about they not moving at all?
Ooh.
It ain't
even
about you.
better.
It ain't just that you moving funny and that no, you ain't moving at all.
Wow.
And herein lies the problem.
Here it
The problem is one of us was ready to go forward and you not.
right.
And
Exactly. But
so a lot of times, just like Fred, okay, Fred wants to take Trailblazers 1,000 miles, right?
Yes.
yep,
Us behind him, we gotta have the same vision he got,
Yes.
right?
yep.
We all want to go forward. But if Fred was trying to go forward, but we were not, what you think gonna happen?
There's gonna be some problems.
Yeah.
Okay. So that therein lies your problem. My
Wow.
thing
There you
is
go.
you're supposed to find people that are already where you are trying to go.
Okay.
You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? You
Okay.
don't look for people that's on your same level because all of us are hosts, but none of us are on the same level
Wow.
Exactly.
in life. You catch what I'm
Nope.
saying?
Yes.
My thing that I do is different from LXG and Fred. The
Mhm.
things they do is different from me.
Right.
I'm every day I'm busy because I got so much going on in life that
Yep.
Mhm.
I stay busy.
Yep.
Right.
But the whole thing is in that I'm still trying to push Trailblazers ahead
Absolutely.
Exactly.
in my busyness. But when
Absolutely.
you just too busy, when one of y'all is busy and the other one ain't doing jack, you looking, you know
Yep.
what I'm saying? You the spectator in the relationship.
Yep.
And that's where the problem comes in. We're not supposed to be spectators.
Wow.
Because what
Supposed to
what
be
do
participants.
That's
right? Because
good.
what do spectators do?
Watch.
All they do is talk about what they
They
see.
be talking
Yep.
junk.
like a play-by-play commentator.
There you
Wow.
go.
Wow, that's
And
good.
and I find it funny because it's the situation you just mentioned, LSU. I mean, you both of y'all at the launch pad. You
Mhm.
both of y'all fueled up and ready to go.
Mhm.
The difference between you and your and that person that's your friend, when your countdown hit zero, you press that button and your rocket took off.
Right. That's right,
She
Ventrice.
hit
Participators.
sh- she hit that button and that rocket ship didn't go nowhere.
It
Right.
didn't. But I'm wrong though.
No,
No, you
look,
are
Taking
not
off.
wrong. You did what you were supposed to do, and
exactly.
and
You were no, you
and,
did
and that's
yeah.
what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to move forward.
You
Wow.
were you made sure that you were prepped and ready for launch.
Yeah.
And when that launch countdown went, and when they said launch, you press that button and you went. This other person did not make the proper preparations, nor did they anticipate the simple fact that I think we don't anticipate the simple fact that we as human beings are meant to grow.
Right.
We're supposed to grow and learn from the things that we go or that we do or
Yes.
or things
Oh,
that we don't do.
yes.
Hmm.
Man, come on, man. If I'm not gonna sit up on the launch pad and then when I hear zero, I'm not pre- and not go. You
Right.
know,
First of
Because
we
all, we as people were designed for change,
yes, that's true.
but we don't like change. You catch
change
that?
is change is inevitable.
But
I
do
don't.
you catch what I said?
Oh
We
yeah,
don't
We
like
were
it.
designed for change, but we don't
we don't
like
like it.
change.
Right.
So how can you not like what you were designed to do?
Wow.
And then if you rail against it, well, that's going against. Oh no, you. Why are you saying that you don't like? We know that you don't like. We know that we don't like change for human beings, but at the same time, it's about some of us are more adaptable to change than others. We're more malleable when it comes to that. Change goes down, cool. We adapt.
Sometimes stretches you.
Yeah, we
Yes,
adapt and
Causes you
we
to come out of what you're accustomed to reach a little higher. It's for
right,
your
yep.
good in a lot of cases, but because it's out of your comfort zone and requires more of you, we may shy away from that. We don't want to do the work.
right.
Man, look,
We
something I
don't
heard a
want to
long
do
time
the
ago.
work.
Something I heard a long time ago. In order to be stretched, you have to be submerged.
Ooh, wow.
If you want to be stretched as a person or as a human being, you gotta be submerged for a time. Not to
Wow.
the point of being drowned, but you still have to be submerged.
Mhm.
If it's
Wow.
and it goes with any type of material. If you put it in water, put it in some type of liquid, and you pull it, if you don't put it in liquid and you pull it, it's gonna have a certain elasticity. But if you put it in liquid, it'll have a more elasticity.
Mhm.
So in order to be stretched, in order for us to stretch our minds, our spirits, our bodies, our dispositions, we gotta submerge ourselves sometimes. And
And
that means
as we pivot and shift and change and grow, the scenes change and the characters may
There
change.
you
exactly.
go.
So I might have been with one particular person in act one, scene one, but as
Hmm.
this play unfolds and as the storyline starts to unfold, some characters don't come back for act two.
Nope.
Or
And they
act
were
three.
designed, or act three, they were designed just to be in act one. That was their role. And when that was done, they can grab their coat and go on home. If I'm trying to bring a act one person into act two, they ain't rehearsed for that. They don't know the lines for that. They don't know the surrounding for that. They're lost because
Let
they
them
were
people
told to be in act one and that's what they studied for. That was the role.
let them people play the role they play in your life, and let them people exit stage left or bow out gracefully.
And some actors are gonna go all the way through. They're gonna be in every scene. It's
Yep.
designed that way.
Yep.
Yep.
Some won't make it. And I
It's
don't
all
have
right.
to be upset with you about it. There could have just been an expiration date and we've reached it. God
Yep.
bless you. If I see you on the street, I will give you a
Salute you.
hello and I will keep pressing. But if I keep trying to put you in an act that you weren't designed to be in, we
That's it.
both gonna go crazy.
Yep.
You weren't supposed to be here.
Yep.
I can't direct you for a scene that you ain't read lines for.
Ooh, we just looking crazy, throwing everybody else off. Like,
Yeah.
why is she here? That's not in Act Two. Who is this? Intruder, intruder, intruder.
Gotta go. Gotta go. And like I
Wow.
said, and it goes back to people being in your orbit. Be cool with people.
Ooh-wee.
Be cool with people leaving your orbit. That's fine. It's okay.
Ooh-wee.
Because when one person leaves, another person gonna show up. And then if they leave, another person gonna show up. Be cool with people. Be cool with those types of exchanges.
Movement.
Yeah. Be cool with those types. I mean, as much as there are certain people I would love to keep in my life because of the value that they brought to me and the value that I'm at a point where they don't belong.
Right.
Right.
They can't stand where I am. They can't stand in the place that I am right now
Right.
because I'm different. Because as we grow, we're different people from one dispensation to the next. And that's because of the lessons that we learn and the changes that we endure and we go through. And again, since we're talking about unappreciation and stuff like that, I put it in our comments earlier. But I want to do that before I strongly believe in the concept of equivalent exchange.
Hmm.
I strongly believe in that concept. Now, it took me watching the anime series for me to understand what this concept truly means.
Mm-hmm.
But in a nutshell, and how I will explain in this anime series for those who watch anime, I don't know if anybody hears the name of the anime is called Full Metal Alchemist.
Anime like anime, eat the cake anime.
No, anime as far as
No,
Japanese cartoon.
Japanese
Oh.
cartoons is called anime.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the series is called Full Metal Alchemist. And the concept of equivalent exchange, how it was explained, is that in order for one to attain something, one must give up something.
Mm.
Yep.
Wow.
So if you want a piece of happiness, which is something you want to attain,
Yep.
then you go have to give up some things to get that piece of happiness.
Wow. Wow. That's good.
If you want to feel appreciated, which is something you want to attain,
Right.
then you go have to give up some things to be appreciated, which means
Wow.
dropping your pride,
Mm-hmm.
which means set aside all those selfish things. But I mean, and appreciation really is kind of like a selfish thing because we all want to feel like we have value
Yes.
or that we bring value in someone's life in some way, shape, or form. And
Yes.
that's cool. It is okay to feel that way because as we go through this life, we want to feel like we bring value to people,
Yes.
especially the people that's close,
Absolutely.
especially people that's close to us,
Mm-hmm.
people that we deem to be the closest to us.
Yes.
And then when we don't feel that value, when we don't feel that, and appreciation also is connection.
Yes. It is.
We
That's
want to feel that value. We want to feel connect. We want to feel that.
good
We want to feel
connection.
connected. And
Yes.
when we don't feel value, we don't feel connected. And if we don't feel like our efforts are I won't even say appreciate our efforts are
Even
that
know.
we're thanked for our efforts, or we're even giving credit for the things that we do.
Mhm. Yep. That's good.
That leads to resentment,
It sure will. Resentment and anger and bitterness. Absolutely, it will.
frustration, and then when on top of that, when you're unappreciated, and this is something I just thought about, and I should have said earlier. We act out of character.
Oh, we do.
Oh yeah.
We act
Everything is
completely
on
out of
our
character.
nerves.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I mean,
Yes.
I'm not appreciated enough. So guess what? Hey, you don't appreciate me. So guess what? I got a right to act a complete and total
I'm going
ass.
on strike.
Yep, I got a right to act a complete and total ass. And the reality of it is, because you feel unappreciated, that does not give you the right to act that way.
Wow.
Nope.
You don't have the right. Just because you're unappreciated, it does not reserve you the right to act disrespectful. It doesn't
Right.
reserve you the right to act like to be dishonorable.
Right.
It doesn't reserve you the right to be disloyal.
That's right. That's true.
You do reserve the right to speak how you feel to that
Yes.
individual as it pertains to how you feel that way. But you also have to do that with respect and decorum, but also with I won't say with caution, because saying the word caution means that you have to walk on eggshells with people. And
Mhm.
in this day and age, if we grown as people, we shouldn't have to walk on eggshells with nobody.
You shouldn't. But
Right.
that's the key, is having the discussion with the person it involves, not everybody but them. And that's what happened with me and the person that I'm dealing with. The conversations were being had and were coming back to me. I loathe that. You got time to call everybody else and tell them your problems with me, but my number ain't changed in 22 years.
Right.
Wow.
You have a problem. You are on a campaign trail to get votes because you upset with me. You want everybody else upset with me. That ain't right. Pick up the
See,
phone and call me. It could be a 2-hour conversation. We can cry, snot, whatever. But a real friend, if you know my heart and you love me, you're gonna come to me and have that conversation.
Right.
see, people that want to do smear campaigns on other
I
people,
can't
they
take
got
that.
agenda.
That's not
They
true.
got, they got, they. It's an ulterior motive and an agenda. That's all. That also be that also speaks to their own insecurities.
I
Oh
agree with
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. So when I did have a conversation, because I was getting stories from another individual, I said, I know what I'll do. We're gonna get on do an old school and do a three-way
Right.
conversation.
Yup.
Because if one person is saying you said this and you saying you didn't, this is how we handle that. Everybody gonna be on the phone.
Yep.
Right.
So what went down? That's old school. Hold on, let me call so and so and so and so.
But the thing of that is, it's so it's so hard to get people to come to the negotiation table some at this day and age because people feel like they know everything and don't know nothing, or they feel like they're right all the time,
Mhm, mhm.
or it don't matter because I'm correct and I, bruh, sis, you ain't right.
And I made it clear that I wasn't dealing with it. I said,
Right.
if this happens one more time, then you out of my life for good. I'm giving you
They,
a chance,
you know what,
but
they when
mm-mm.
they when you X about their life, they'll get the picture.
Ooh.
They will get the picture
And let me tell people out
you
here,
don't mess with them like that.
when you calling yourself somebody's spiritual mother,
Come on here.
be careful, because
Very.
there are certain things that a mother just won't do,
Come on here.
biological or spiritual. So if you're trying to take that role in somebody's life, you better come correct or leave them the heck alone.
That's it.
Boy,
You don't know
boy.
what kind of mama trauma they already got.
And
Do
then you
not come to them wrong.
and
If
then
your
you
spirit ain't
replicating
right,
that.
mm,
Yep.
And then you replicating that, which makes
trigger.
that trauma more pronounced.
Yes, yes, yes.
Don't do that. Look, I
Houston, that was the problem. So
I
now
am
you acting crazy. So you in the same boat where the other person was.
exactly.
Betrayal. I'm
And
not going through that no more. Mm-mm.
you
No,
because don't do that because now you put people in a worse off position than where a worse off condition than where they were to begin with.
and that shouldn't happen. A friendship should not traumatize you to the point where you are worse off than before
What
you
you
met
know.
them. That I
Yeah.
don't think that's right.
But
Mm-mm.
but that's the thing that we do to that's the thing we do to each other.
We
But
do.
yet we categorize people as friends even when they do the most egregious stuff to us.
Oof.
Yeah.
The thing of it is that, and what I'm telling you, you mentioned it earlier. That goes beyond just the marriage, the interpersonal relationships that we talk about, marriages and friendships and business relationship.
Mhm.
That also matriculates to church relationships.
It does. It
Yeah,
can't
any relationship.
Yeah,
any. Yep.
because the moment you know somebody's going through something, you know this for a fact, but yet you do something to trigger that person even more, and now you put them in a much worse off position than when they started,
Yep.
especially if that person is in a vulnerable state.
Yes.
They're in a vulnerable state, or even when that person is at a point to where they're really on that path, they're walking that path to heal.
Hmm.
That is a vulnerable time too.
It can be. Yes.
You don't I would say don't put nobody in a compromising position that you wouldn't want nobody to put you in yourself, because
Amen.
I guarantee you the results can be cataclysmic.
But that just says that everybody who is in the church may not be your friend.
Yeah.
You
No,
can go to the
But they're
same
not.
church, you can be in the same ministry, you could be, you could be in the same congregation, but it
Yeah.
still doesn't mean that they're meant to be your close friend.
No,
nah.
and they're not. Church, first of all, is never supposed to be friend based. Because
Hmm.
let's be real. We don't talk to some of our real friends every day.
That's true.
You go into the church, you can't expect nothing different. You
Yep.
can't expect everybody in the church to hug your neck. You can't expect everybody in the church to give you an actual God-filled word.
Mm.
Nope.
Reason, and I mean they multiple reasons for that. Because half of the time they can't give you what they don't know.
Ooh, wow.
You got people that sit in the church that just so lost.
That's
Just as
true.
lost as
They
just as
just
lost as you are
they
sometimes.
come to church out of routine. They
Wow.
don't come to
See.
church because they know the Lord. They come
Wow.
Yep.
out of routine. So that's when it's called religion. And then they're
That's
not there
religion.
to
Yep.
get what they need to get.
Religion and tradition.
Yeah,
Yep.
religion and tradition, two totally different things. You
Yep.
know when somebody know the Lord or not.
Right.
Or they like, or they be like me. Do it because shit. I'm only doing this for I'm only doing this for my wife. I ain't doing it
Hmm.
for me. Cause me personally, I don't subscribe because I don't subscribe to it.
Hmm.
And that's like, well, why you doing it? Why you just don't do it? Because I don't want because I didn't want to hear my wife complain
Right. So that's again, you went.
about me not going.
You didn't go because you wanted to know the Lord.
Right.
You went to make her happy.
Yep.
Right.
And you still didn't make her happy.
Hey,
So
but I
you
mean,
see what I'm saying? So you
it,
gotta understand where we going with this.
yep,
Right.
If you try to take parts of your life and try to change them to suit somebody else,
Wow.
half of the time that change you chose to make still ain't gonna work.
nope,
It's still
Reason
not gonna be
being,
enough. It's
right,
never
and
gonna
the
be
reason
enough.
why it's not gonna work is because you didn't make the change for you.
nope.
Right. You gotta
And
do it for you.
It
that's
gotta
what
be done for you. You have to be what's at the forefront. When you do stuff based for other people, it never works.
yep,
Right.
and that's what unappreciation come in. And I think when we think of it that way, we do stuff because we feel we're doing it for them,
Right.
not us. Because
Yeah, but
we do things
it's
to
just
make.
like when you tell your spouse or you tell someone, I'm doing it out of love.
Hmm.
I'm doing it out of love. Okay, you're doing it because you're doing it out of love. But are they receiving it in love?
Yep,
That's
So
good.
you got to think about it. It's a two-way street. You
It
might
is.
be doing it with one person, but how are they receiving it?
Right.
yep,
Are they receiving it in the way that you're giving it?
Right.
Most of the time, no.
And in
nope,
a relationship, I can speak for in marriage, I can have an intention to do something out of love, but my delivery isn't in a way where it's being received that way because of how I gave it.
Right.
exactly. But
And
that is
it can be taken a total opposite of what I intend. And like, why you act like that? Well, what did you hear? Or you
Right.
can say it calm, but their trauma could step up and they
Yeah.
can hear the message could be just misconstrued.
yep,
You have to have those kinds of conversations where you really get to know where a person's head is at.
exactly.
The dating process needs to be that time.
Yep.
Yep.
You're having
And
some
that's
people want to be in the bed so much you ain't getting to know who this person is.
Right.
or
You
better yet, first of all,
don't know them.
And that's
you
that's the problem. In
Lord.
the bed, you don't know anybody.
You don't even the lights
And,
is out.
and because all you getting to know, you think you know the sex in the bed, and you don't even know that really.
Ooh, watch
nope,
out now,
Because and
Coco.
I'm gonna go there now
Don't go there.
because the reason why you don't know the sex like that is because they might have gave it to you one way, but I could guarantee you before you they gave it to somebody else differently.
Ooh,
So you have to understand that it's still not the same.
wow.
You just somebody new.
Come
So
on.
I got to give it to you the way I think you like it. You catch what I'm saying?
Gotta show
oh,
you
And
I
what a
that's
person
do.
is.
and that's even in a sexual
Ooh,
nature. If you trying to give it to them based off of their standards and their likes, you're not doing it in a manner that actually pleases you.
that's good.
You're doing it in a manner that pleases them.
Right.
And then as soon as you're not doing it to they like it no more because your likes change
Mm-hmm.
and your sexual nature changes, when
Mm-hmm.
you can't keep up with their nature, then
Wow.
what?
You got
That's the reason why relationships based off sex don't last long.
they don't.
Nope.
Mm-mm. Wow.
Got gotta have. I put. I said this to one of my sons. You gotta have conversation before the penetration.
Yeah,
Right.
relationships based off sex don't last long for that reason. Because okay, if you catch me when I'm back in my 20s, my sexual nature is totally different than it is in my 40s.
Right.
You catch what I'm saying? So as time progresses, that nature about who I am and what I do with you changes.
Yep.
And so if you feel like, oh, there's somebody more feistier than this one, I'm going to the one that's more feistier.
Wow.
Because they might do what I want to do that you won't do.
That's where conversations need to happen. That's where the
But
conversations
again,
need to happen.
who sits in the bed and say, oh, okay, before we have sex, look, let me talk about this list.
Right.
Who does that? Nobody.
No
Really?
Nobody better be.
Really. Most of the people get in the bed and look at each other and it just starts.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
But you have to have that conversation before all that goes down. I mean,
you should.
Why? My thing is, why jump into a shallow pool head first?
Okay, but think about it. How do you think a lot of people were made off of one night stand?
Jumping in a shallow pool.
They did not. Right. They did not have no conversation. Right.
No conversation.
Only conversation they had was while they was in the club, and I can guarantee
Gary Underwood got a song that says, and I don't even know his last name.
That's it.
Yeah.
When we wake up in the morning, I might even be asking you how you got here.
It's morning.
Who the hell are you?
Come on,
how
now.
Did you hear?
You know what I'm saying? And that we gotta have a show about that. We're gonna do a show just about that, y'all.
Who the hell are you? Well,
yes.
How did you get here? What?
Wake up in the morning because y'all was so lit when you went and got the hotel room. Y'all was so lit and show up. You don't even like who? What? How you
here? I see Waffle House and I see condom wrappers. What the hell happened?
Did you get here?
Okay.
Nobody's supposed to be here.
And I'm so mad that he just talked about a situation I was in. Yes, Waffle House and condom wrappers.
Oh
yes.
What the hell we do?
Like who? What? Did we go to breakfast before this happened? What happened? I don't even know. Like for
what
real.
Happened? Like,
ladies and gentlemen, only on Trailblazers Radio.
You know,
we're talking about Waffle House.
Oh yeah, I want to see you again, but I don't want to see you though.
And we damn sure not gonna talk about my ear.
Right. Like I don't even want to see you though. Like how do we get here? Literally.
How did we get here?
Why am I close half a mile down the beach? What the hell?
What happened?
Not only that.
That's my story.
Wake up face first down in the sand.
That's a shame.
Half of you in the water and the other half ain't.
What in the world?
Yes, like
I got sand in this. I don't even know I had sand. I know.
Wow.
Right. Like no. This was not how this was supposed to go down. I don't understand.
Okay.
This was not how I imagined my evening or my morning to be.
Oh my God.
Right. And then I mean, like I said, when you talking about sexual nature, honey, my first time, I was just that was like for real. I was paused. Like, you know, I imagined this day, but this was so not what I
imagined.
This was not it.
Oh my God.
Thought this would be a better experience than this.
I don't know. I gotta try this again, just not with you.
We gotta have a rematch. We gotta have a rematch.
Just not with you.
Not with you. A do-over.
We gotta run that back.
A do-over with somebody totally different. Because it just didn't work out with you. I don't know what happened.
We gotta run that back, sir. We gotta run that back, ma'am. Because
ladies and gentlemen, Trailblazers Radio, you may get some my people's
look, but I'm telling y'all, like at the end of the day, you have to be intentional with relationships.
Oh, so intentional.
Very intentional. If your relationship gonna be based off this, just say that.
It is what it is. To put it out, but be honest about it. If that's how you're feeling about it, make sure they understand that. Because when you go wrong, when one person is feeling a certain way and the other person is not, that's a problem. Right. I've experienced that before marriage. You got this. Okay, when you took me out, we done had chicken wings and burners. That means we got to get engaged. No, Latanya, that does not mean that. But in my mind, I mean, it wasn't no, hey, what color tux do you want? Because I can go and order it. I'm gonna go put $10 on my dress. And I'm just being honest. I was so obsessed with the thought of marriage that I did not let dating be enjoyable at all. I was intense. And one
But
guy was
you
like,
know,
lady, you
but that
kind of
make you
aggressive.
intense like that.
I was
You know?
very intense with my dating.
that's
I can
horrible.
look back on and say one guy nicknamed me Big Mama because I was just like D-boying him. I'm coming over there. I'm on my way. What you want from McDonald's?
Nothing.
What? Big Mama rolling through. What
Oh
I
Lord.
said, I'm rolling through. What you
Damn,
want from Mickey D's?
I was playing Call of Duty. What you feel? What,
Hey,
really?
I was tired of being alone. I started D-boying these dudes.
Look,
You
look.
had probably had them
Man,
dudes running for the
dude, I'm telling
hills.
you,
And he was a
life
little
be
skinny
so
thing. He
funny
probably was
though.
like, Lord, if you don't get this Sophia from Color Purple Child away from me,
Look,
Exactly.
but
I
I'm
am not
telling
gonna be
you,
your hoppo girl.
life
No.
be so funny though. Like at the end of the day, like when you was back and you were single, I mean, people used to get on my ever loving
Me
nerves.
too.
I mean, they still get on my nerves. They still get on my nerves now, and I'm whole married. They still get on my nerves. Like, do y'all not understand? I literally got one dude that has asked me 4,000 times, "Did you really go get married?" How many
Oh,
times I got? How many times I got to tell you yes?
wow.
Yes, I went and got married. That just really sucks.
Stop
Though.
asking.
It sure does. Like, yeah, when they say it sure does. Yes, it sucks for you. So I mean, I don't understand. Like,
Oh my
you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, but people do that to you, and then,
Facebook is horrible about that. I
oh
don't
my
mean to be rude, but
gosh,
you're just so beautiful. Boy, you do not want to deal with Mr. Gooden. That brother
oh
is
my
crazy.
gosh,
Please get out my
Blam.
inbox. I got a whole Harris hyphen Gooden on my name. It says married to him, and you still. I don't want to be
look,
rude, but you sure is a good. I want some of your sugar. You better get out
listen,
my inbox. You ain't D'Angelo.
listen. They tell, and I even got one that said, "Look, well, you let me know if it don't work
See,
out."
that's so
What?
wild.
Baby, you gonna be waiting a long time. That's all I had to say. Like, what you mean? Like,
That's
just
so
let you know
foul.
if it don't work out. Like, you literally sit back and you just waiting for me to pick up the phone and call you. I'm not doing
Crazy.
that. Like,
Crazy.
what we doing?
These
Like,
people don't
no.
care.
Cats be on folks be on some straight up like
We
Yeah,
got to get,
creepy
we got to get out of here,
don't do
y'all.
that.
We got to get out
creepiness.
of
What
here.
the hell? Why you gonna
Ladies
do
and
that?
gentlemen, I
Hell out
need
my inbox. What's wrong with you?
Fred, she tried to end her show.
my friends, my brother and sister. I love them. I thank them for coming on. We
Lord,
done went over the time.
well
I have
over
had
time.
a blast, as we always do. Yes, Clint, they eager, but they just don't know. Please don't bother Mr. Gooden's wife. I don't
Look,
got no bail money. Please leave that man wife
listen,
alone.
listen.
Please
It
don't.
won't.
Don't.
Y'all better leave.
It won't
Y'all
end
better
well
leave
for
the
you.
snake his
Please.
wife alone, baby.
But the
It won't
crazy
end
part
well
was
for you.
before I got where was y'all at before I got married? Y'all didn't want to
That
be
part.
bothered. I had
That
to get
part.
over
That's
y'all.
what
But
I
now I get
said.
married. Now you like, I don't want to be married.
Girl, that's the same thing I said. I was like,
Where was
what?
y'all
Where was you at?
niggas before?
Where you been? Dang.
Where was y'all cats before all this crap?
Right. That's what I said. When I'm talking about, I just didn't think I had everything together like to make that
See,
move with you. But you messed up though. I won't even looking at you for nothing like that. I was just looking at you for you. You
right.
the one who didn't want to go no further. So not my problem.
Not
Eh?
your problem. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want
Lord
to
have
thank you
mercy.
all for hanging out with Critical Conversations today. Thank you to Coco and Fred, my Trailblazers family. Again, I want to remind you to go back and watch Thursday's show. Coco gave her testimony. We have a GoFundMe set up for her medical treatment that she desperately needs. We need your help. Share this video and then go back and watch Thursday's special episode called A Journey to Healing, Coco's Story. We are asking for help for monetary donations for her to get her treatment that's not covered by insurance, y'all. And she gave her testimony. powerful. Go back and watch the replay. It was amazing. And it gave us a understanding of what she's been dealing with. She fights through her pain. You see her smiling and laughing. She fights through that every single day. So we need your help. I will post the GoFundMe in the comments. We need your help, please. We're going to be talking about this pretty much every show because it's that important to us.
That
So,
serious, y'all.
and this is our sister, and we got to do what we got to do. So just understand, this is our girl, and you will do this for someone you love. This is our sister. We want her to be well. Any announcements, Trailblazers?
Uh,
Yeah.
not that I know. Not that I know.
Guys, join us all next week. We got shows next week.
Yeah, I do.
Subscribe.
This
Please
coming
subscribe.
Wednesday.
Okay, Wednesday.
This coming Wednesday, I will be right back in the place with Joy Katanga Dabo. We're gonna talk about PPD or postpartum depression, part 3, how it affects the male or the father, the male, meaning the
Okay.
father or the partner.
That's gonna be a good discussion.
Yeah.
Gonna be a really good discussion, y'all. Um, also this coming Friday. Do you guys are we doing anything this coming Friday? I know we talked. Did
Fridays,
we talk about that last
Fridays,
night?
but like the 17th, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we have the incest show.
Yep. So we oh yeah.
Yeah.
We going
I'm
there.
gonna need y'all to be in the place for that because we gonna be talking about something that
Yeah.
we a lot of people ain't gonna talk about that, but
Yeah. Are gonna
we
unpack.
we I won't even
Yes.
say are we is going there. We
Yeah.
is going there. We gonna talk about this, and I think for a lot of people this is gonna be very very triggering. So
Yeah.
I'm giving this disclaimer today. I'm also going to give this disclaimer again on Friday. If you are triggered, if you are strongly triggered by this, if you become triggered by this, I strongly advise that you do not watch this. I'm not saying it to be negative or anything like that, but
Or
if it
don't watch it
triggers
alone.
it, if
Yes.
you are strongly triggered,
Have someone with you.
yeah, don't watch it. If you do and you get triggered, please have a loved one or someone who is a very great support system there with you because we go dive as deep as we can dive with this with the time that we're gonna have allotted to do that. And this might take a good bit of a Friday night to do that. But
Right.
it is not about bringing up past traumas. It's about us having a conversation about something that is rarely talked about, but also bringing some form of edification to healing to those people who have experienced it. Um,
Yes.
because that is horrific. I mean, the one word I can say is horrific, and just me thinking about the word makes me angry. But I'm gonna reserve my anger for Friday. But I'm also be sensible because we are having a sensible conversation, and we want you guys to tune in and listen and watch. But we don't. But we want to be mindful of who you are as people, and also your feelings and your emotions. So if you are triggered, you know, you can always excuse me.
Oh,
You can
you all
always
right
come
over
back. Yeah, you can always come back. You can always leave and then come back and watch it again when you're strong. When you feel you're stronger.
Right.
With that. So also in the same day that Friday, I will be I'll be doing an internship with WBNN.
Woo!
My first show is actually this Friday at 9:30. It will be on Blog Talk Radio.
there? Okay.
Mr. Ngozi will probably Mr. Ngozi, if I get this if I don't get him correctly, he'll start promoting the show and things of that nature. And I'm gonna start promoting the show. Like I said, this is an internship. And again, like I said Wednesday, Trailblazers Radio ain't going nowhere. This is this
Okay.
is this is a sta- this is established. This is on solid ground. For
Come
me to do
on.
this internship, for me to do the internship, but it's also being a CEO of my own thing. I want to grow. I want to grow a
Yes.
little more as a podcaster, grow more as a podcaster. The more information that I can get from being up under the internship, the more things that I can pass on to these ladies right here to
Yeah.
help them get better. Not to say that they don't need any improvements because they're already great at what they do.
We want to grow. We want to grow.
But this is about growth for me, not only for me as an individual. Learn just I want to learn stuff. I'm
Mhm.
at I ain't too old to learn something. So yeah. So make sure you guys tune in for that. I will make sure that um the call in number for that show is available because it is on Blog Talk Radio. So I'll make sure that the call in number is available. And Mr. Ngozi will be promoting that. We'll be promoting that show. The topic that I'm going to talk about is called the avenue of an asset observation.
Mm.
And
Interesting.
yeah, it's gonna be a very asset observation because it's based upon the things that we've seen and we've experienced over the last 2 to 3 weeks,
Okay.
nationally as well as as well as at our own doorsteps. So tune in for that. Um, Last but most certainly not least, if anybody else doesn't have any other announcements, um, I was gonna put it in the comments, but since I'm here, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
We
Wow.
we're
Yeah.
at 70
Yeah.
we're at 72 subscribers. We are on the road to 100.
Woo, come on, 100.
Um, please subscribe to the channel. Once you subscribe, you view and like the content that resonates with you. You're not tethered to watching every show, every video. Only view the content that resonates with you. If if Critical Conversations resonates with you, cool. If My
Amen.
Life Has Destiny podcast resonates with you, cool. If I resonate with you, cool. But there's no pressure there. Subscribing to the channel is a totally free thing. It does not cost you anything. But and liking the content is totally free. It doesn't cost you anything as well. So I strongly appreciate you guys if you guys do that for us. And I'm gonna reiterate what LSG said when it comes to our sister Coco. Look, this is a serious thing we're talking about here.
Yes.
What she's doing, what she goes through and what she endures on a daily basis, I find that amazing,
Yes.
very amazing. To be able to have the strength and the presence of mind and body to be here with us tonight and to be here with us on any given night,
Mhm.
whether it's doing her own show with Quit or even popping on with us. That to me is amazing and a miracle in and of itself.
Yes, it is.
That shows unwavering strength despite the circumstances and her physical ailments.
Yes.
That to me is and to not only is admirable, but for me, it is honorable.
Yeah.
You're Coco. I don't know if I told you this before, but every time you come up in front of this microphone and in front of this camera, you honor us.
Yes.
Every time you grace us with your presence, I am
Every
honored.
time. Every time.
I am honored because it lets me know that God said, not today.
Not today. Amen.
So every time you honor us, every time you grace us with your presence, I am honored. I am honored to be in your presence because I've got to know who you are as a person. I am
Mhm.
honored.
Yes.
So look, y'all, this is if nothing else isn't important to me, this is.
Mhm. Mhm.
And and if you can't give any money, just show support.
Yes.
Just show support by saying, "Hey, I'm praying for you, Coco. We stand with you."
Yes.
Support don't cost nothing,
Right.
but it's just as important that we get these monetary donations because what she this is something that could possibly this is something that could possibly be very, I won't even say possibly, this is something that will be very beneficial
Mhm.
to her life.
Yes.
It will greatly improve her quality of life, and who wouldn't want their quality of life to be improved?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Who would not want their quality of life to be improved? We
Absolutely.
know what by we know that this is expensive. This has a very large price tag attached to it. But we're not worried about the price tag.
Mhm.
We we've all everybody on this platform. We prayed separately. We've also prayed together.
Absolutely.
God, regardless of whatever outcome, regardless of the outcome, good or bad, God got it.
He sure
Yeah.
does. He's in control.
And and trust me, I am counting on God to make this right.
Yes. That's
No ifs,
good.
ands, and buts about it. I'm counting on God to make this right. So with that being said, I know I was very long winded with that, but I promise you, I do apologize, ladies, but that had to be said. It really did because how I feel about the situation is it's just like I said.
Hmm.
Being here to be able to be share this space with y'all is an honor and a privilege. Something that I do not take for granted.
Hmm.
To be able to be here to talk with y'all, to chat with y'all, and to talk about these things, you know, in an open forum like we do, it's an honor and a privilege. And I don't,
Yes, it
and I will
is.
not, and I will not squander another day of it. Just there was a time I thought, well, yeah, we just do it just to be doing it. No, there's a
Mm,
purpose behind this.
sure is.
Mhm.
And I'm not going to squander. And I will take it. I will not squander another day of us being able to do what we do.
Hmm.
It don't look like it. It don't look like it for our views and all that stuff. But we know folks is being touched.
Yes, there's impact for sure.
So I just want to tell y'all from the bottom of my heart. And Quinn, I know you listen and you watching. I want to just tell y'all, thank y'all. You
Thank you, bro.
this whole you guys have enriched my life in ways I could never repay. So this is the only payment that I know to give by saying thank you and by giving you guys the space and the opportunity to share your voice.
Thank you, sir.
So
We appreciate you, sir.
before I get misty eyed, I'm gonna let LSG close us out.
Any announcements, Coco?
The only other announcement is we are doing part 4 to What About Your Friends? And that's gonna be the last Monday in this month. So please tune in. I can't tell you what we're gonna talk about. Just know
Just
that it
no,
got something to do with your friends.
no
Okay.
friends. No
if,
friends.
if y'all missed the first 3 parts, get a
Oh,
background by watching the first 3 parts. I promise you,
Yes.
there's insight in that, so that way you can see where we going.
Yes. Yes. I suggest you go watch.
yes, yes.
Yes.
All right. Well, tune in Tuesday at 8 p.m. for Girl Chat Weekly. Last
Hey,
week was amazing. We've been talking
it
about embracing
was.
our bodies, and it's really been helping people really get confident about who they are and their physical being, taking care of their mental. And next Saturday, 1 week from tonight, All Well-Being Services, which is a mental health facility, is coming to be interviewed by me. We're talking about mental
Oh,
health. We're leading up to tomorrow starts the mental health forum with Pastor Mo Edwards, and I will be
okay.
in the house tomorrow sharing my testimony. It's called The Elephant Speaks, and we are
Nice.
doing an entire forum on mental health. If you've been watching me at all, you will know a little bit about my journey and how I have been on this healing journey from anxiety and depression. And I am proud of Pastor Edwards to start a forum in his church. It's going to be an entire mental health ministry. It's launching tomorrow, and we have uh, some special guests coming. If you can be there, I'll put the flyer in the comments, but I'll be interviewing All Well-Being Services. They have been around for 65 years in Detroit, helping those that have mental illnesses to get back
Congratulations.
and be productive.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm
Congratulations.
looking forward to spending that time with them. And then they're going to be with us that Sunday with Pastor Mo. So they're going to be doing my show and his our mental health forum. This is
Nice.
serious. Mental health is important. You
It
do
is.
not need to suffer alone. Your life is worthy of living. Even a life with pain is a life worth living. I need you to
Nice.
get that. So we're going to get out of here. Thank you to Fred and Coco. Thank you, Quint, for being in the comments. I will see you Tuesday night for Girl Chat. Get all your girls together, have a watch party, get your popcorn. 1 hour of power packed dialogue all about women, our health, our beauty, our hair or lack of, all of that. So be in the place. All right.
What is Tuesday night's topic?
We're doing part 2 of embracing your body.
Okay, nice.
Yep, we're gonna do part 2. And then the following week, we're going into menopause.
Ooh.
We are going to unpack menopause because I am 47. I am changing. So we're gonna talk about that. Okay. Something's going on. Something going on. And we're gonna research. We're gonna find some holistic teas or something. Because your girl had these hot flashes. The window be open. I got frost on my glasses. Okay.
Oh my God.
I be hot, then I'm cold, then I'm hot, then I'm cold. So we're gonna unpack this menopause thing so I don't pass out in these streets.
Lord.
All right, we got to get out of here. I love you all. Have a good night. Subscribe. We want to reach 100 before Monday. Can you help us do that? Thank you all for joining. Have a very good evening and be safe out there. Good night.